I've got to keep the ball.
Yeah!
Back five a day.
What a line-up, man.
What a line.
It's got to be a cheap line.
The middle sweeper, man.
I know, but you played the back. I seen you controlling your back line last year. Somebody else take it.
Big Kev. He's Kev.
Right, Kev, you control the back line. Pressure on the ball. What we doing?
Pressure on the ball.
In front of us, there's pressure on the ball. What we doing?
There's pressure on us.
No, we've not got the ball. We've got the midfield. We've got pressure. No, we've got pressure on the ball. What we doing?
We're pressing the team.
Squeezing up.
Good lad.
We're squeezing up.
Line pressure. What we doing?
What?
Line pressure.
We've pressed it. The beat the press, drop back to shape. Huh?
We fell right into the Scottish mentality, but we're straight into a back five.
He's on his toes there with the coach's gear on.
No, that's a referee costume.
I know you still wear that, doesn't I had a wee discussion today with somebody, telling you the other day, had a pop at me. Because I'm obsessed with the small sidey stuff at a young age, because I think much more touches of the ball, that stuff, do you know what I mean? Much more touches of the ball, decision making all in. He said that's no real football to me. We all day love the 2v2s, 3v3s, which I think is brilliant, because if you're doing 8v8, one ball between 16, the amount of touches you're getting compared to a 2v2, 3v3, so, but he says no real football.
Is there coaching points within your 1v1s, 2v2s?
But that's the thing, people, they think, let's just copy Raymond, we'll do a 2v2, but they're no going in and seeing it. I'm seeing all that in there, but for another show probably, innit?
Is it standard 2v2, 3v3s where you just say, right, used to, or do you call them in at different opportunities? So it could be like
they're all classic numbers game,
like a wee 1v2 and then 2v2 and then a 3v2.
Too much, far too much.
Right, let's go through it. How did you all get on the weekend, coaching wise?
Charlie, but you done a good wee design, mate, didn't you? Before the game, a different approach you took.
Is that something you made up, Charlie, or did you hear it somewhere, or something similar?
So I always tell my boys, the 2011 team, it's not about winning.
Oh, you're not one of them, are you?
Aye.
Does it in an Australian accent, doesn't it?
Aye.
Winning's everything.
But Andy, my point of the matter is I want them to focus on winning. They can't affect. They obviously want to win. So this is my point. I keep saying to them it's not about winning, but they're obviously heard it so many times now. They're all looking away and all that, right? I'm trying to get them to look at me. So I sat in the morning of the game. I thought what I say to them. So as soon as I got them in, I was like, right, rock paper scissors. Who wants a game? Played a couple of them. And I said to them, right, could you affect who won that game? They're like, aye. Is that how? We could pick where we're going. I said, but you didn't know what I was going to go. And then I'd related that to the game, saying you don't know what the other team are going to bring, you don't know what the ref's going to be like, we can't affect that, so all we can bring to the game is what we bring to the game. Intensity and the stuff we've worked
But if the other team go paper, well, fuck, those come off.
You could have made that a game related and put a pair of football boots on the end of your fingers when you were playing it.
Would have been nice, wouldn't it?
How did the result go then?
We won 4-0. We were brilliant.
Good.
We worked loads on counter pressing all week, so mind the drill.
Yeah. How did it go?
About size of the areas and all that.
Was the size right or wrong?
I had to make it a wee bit bigger for them because they're obviously younger and a bit lesser ability, but Si gave us good size of areas. It's something you take for granted.
Sizes, definitely.
Like sizes.
He doesn't take that size for granted, I know that.
I think that's what I got the bit. One of the boys in the BA for B line said to me, the most important thing you do in your coaching is get your sizes right. Get your sizes wrong, it's fucked.
Well, I met him the other day, didn't I? Somewhere. And
I says to him, come in, he says, what about sizes? I says, right, I'm rushing straight for somewhere, come, bring the stuff and we'll get it done. Turned out you got cones, he's like that. No cones, mate, working on size of areas.
A pair of golf shoes.
A pair of golf shoes at Steps playing fields.
We went to National Park. No, we went just me and him to show me sizes.
Oh, right, okay.
Because I remember him mentioning a couple of sizes he'd said for areas, and I thought I'd just make them up as I go.
So do I, to be honest, at times, but then see if I do one and I think that's a good size, I'll note that down.
Aye.
But the first time I do it, I'll just
It's good to have a guide, because I wing it and I showed him what I would have done, and it was about 20 yards short of what it should have been, and I'd have brought that out 10, but it still would have been too short. So we sorted that out. So I'd done it the night before, had them counter pressing, and then done a wee bit in the warm up, and they were brilliant in the game. As soon as they lost it, won it back, scoring. Brilliant.
You had a wee story with a coach, didn't you?
Oh, Jude at the weekend. Jude's coach is a hero, obviously. He wanted away for Kev, so took him back to his old team. But Big Richard's for Denniston, mate. A lovely guy, but he loses it. You've nearly fought with him a couple of times, didn't you?
He was fighting with another coach on the pitch one day, and I was no fighting. They were arguing, and I says, "Big man, just leave it be. It's kids football." And he wanted to square goal with me, but I said to him, "I'm meeting later on." I think he got your number.
You shot it?
No, he shot it.
So anyway, I didn't go to Jude's game, but I think you had a missed call for you. Somebody else had a missed call. Loads of people phoning us. I was like, "What the fuck's happened?" So Big Richard, his coach, phones us. I says, "Is a wee man all right?" And I was like, "What's that?" Got smashed with 2 minutes to go. And I was like, "I think he's fine, mate. It sounds like, don't worry." But he's like, no, fine. He says, "I've ran on that pitch." He's like, "Just to let you know, I had his back right on that pitch fucking shouting and swearing, and I was like, big man, you didn't need to shout and swear. He says, well, that's what their coach fucking said. He came on, he's like, mind your language on the kids. Big man, he's like, shut your mouth, you fucking arse rag. Mate, I had him on loudspeaker phone. I'm taking Frankie at his game. Frankie's sitting there at me, what's an arse rag? I don't even know what an arse rag is, do you?
It's a tool, isn't it?
It must have been a shock of a challenge, though, no?
I don't know, why do you need a towel? Just a towel purely for your arse?
And why would you call somebody that?
It must have been a bad one. It was a bad one because the boy for the team contacted me to say, to tell Si that we've sorted the situation out and
Mate,
but apparently it wasn't just a tackle, I think it was a really bad tackle.
V-Man can handle it, but can't
he
maybe
was
fair.
not playing straight after him, mate.
No, boys, we've had incredible performances on open goal. I think mine, remember Rigu, my first one ever, spin the seat, that was up there with the best ever. Derek's recently been outstanding, but there's something about to
Oh my God, mate.
that is the greatest
Wings challenge of all time.
in open goal history. It is
Can you
just
say the names now?
2 open goal legends, mate.
But it is easily the funniest thing we've ever seen.
Both of them been on before.
Both of them have been on before, and they played together as well.
And the clue is they played with Kev. One of them played with Kev, didn't they?
Aye.
And you
Probably
see
the only
James-
guy on open goal that's heavier than Kev as well, I'd say.
He's maybe a
Aye,
bit,
he was.
maybe is a bit heavier.
He was big.
Great guy. I
Great
could
guy.
never
Mate.
say anything negative about
Oh,
him
I'm looking forward
because
to that, then.
to some people he's an inspiration. Some I would
Yes.
say.
What was your score at the weekend?
We had, I can't tell you the score, but we had a comfortable victory.
Good, mate.
Because obviously I'm not allowed to. Every time I fucking tell a score, the league pull me up.
I've never seen it.
How no? The league.
It's mad that.
The league fine teams 25 quid if you don't send the result in. How bad is
Why
that?
you
Quite
not allowed
right,
to say
mate.
the score?
Quite right, I agree with that.
Non-competitive.
Good.
If you're gonna do
Alright, mine's
something, do it
competitive
right,
this year.
I agree with that.
Do you?
Aye.
Non-competitive, so it doesn't matter who wins or no, and you
Do it
get
properly,
fined
mate.
25 quid. But no, we played, we were brilliant.
No, he's on about the 25 quid euro, isn't he?
If you didn't send your score in it, it's not
Aye,
a lot to ask, is it?
we were very, I think that's
Why
the
is it
best.
uncompetitive?
I think they
Scottish rule. I would love to have a conversation about this. In England, they have a referee under 6s, under 7s, all the way right up, and they can do all the rules, and it's proper football. Whereas up here, we are non-competitive, and you can only do certain things on the
I
park.
seen an 11-year-old get booked on Saturday. What kind of guy must you be to book an 11-year-old?
Harry, Dan, sorry, my Harry got sent off 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, ball got played back. They came on at half time, so he phoned me through the week, got his new goalie come in, so he thought, that's me, I'm palmed out.
Ah, you told the story when he came
Sent
out. And
off, right. So I was thinking, is there not a double jeopardy rule where you can't send the guy off, the goalie off, and give a penalty at the same time? You can't get
only if there's an attempt to play the ball.
Right, so Harry's gave the ball away and he's tried to win it back, and his ref went penalty, but the ref's done his wrote a match report. Harry climbed over his back and dragged him down with the throat and all that to try and
Harry
cover
climbed
himself.
on the ref's back?
No, Harry did was just tackle the guy to try and win the ball back.
That's wrong.
Got sent
And he
off.
says he done what to his throat?
He says he grabbed him back on the back and dragged him to the ground, and I was thinking, he just tried to tackle him.
See, you done that to Lynn, didn't you? That's what
So he
that's
gets
what that of it.
that's what I mean. Like,
I was going to message you actually.
how?
There was something going on at the Kyle household at the weekend.
You were involved heavily.
3 women all over you.
And Lynn wasn't he there?
Lynn wasn't there?
And you were involved.
That was the sisters-in-law.
Was it?
That's my 2 sisters-in-law, Big Jamie's wife and
Oof.
his brother's girlfriend.
Did it get naughty or what?
No.
Your
They just
trousers
wanted
were
a-
sticking up.
they just- they just- they just- they
His
just wanted a
trousers were sticking
fight.
up like that, weren't they, in the
They
video?
just wanted a fight and they got a fight.
You were at Liverpool Rogue, I seen Jilly's thingy, how was it?
nice, mate. Have you eaten there before?
Aye.
Oh, it's brilliant. Very
That's
good.
his favourite bit, isn't it, for a Sunday roast?
Amazing. Mate.
That's the first time I've been.
What'd you get for
Andy.
your starter?
Sorry.
No, I wasn't that hungry. I just got the roast, but very, very decent. But sides, very good.
Sides
How
are
good's the
brilliant.
potatoes, mate? Oh, I hate giving people free publicity, but
No, good. He's a
That's
good guy, Joe.
Oh, is he?
He's got Liverpool.
Aye,
Do you know
I know
what,
that as
what
well.
the Wednesday for a roast? Cook a turkey in his dad's bag.
did it?
You put it in raw, leave it in for 5 minutes, then bring it out.
Mate, you
But
see,
it always comes out with a Johnny hanging at the arse.
Aye.
Bet you it's burnt if it's in there for 5 minutes. That's too long.
Mate, he's phoned me. He said he's new clocked on to us on here. He says we should better rap talking about him.
You better wrap up. Is that what the Johnny's for?
He did say that. He said
What's
he's.
what has to do with the Johnny?
No, he said he's getting absolutely sick of it, and he
He's
says
wanting you to wrap it up, seriously.
because he says people keep coming up to him and saying all this stuff. He went, "You've got this in your bag. You've got this in your bag. You're this type of guy." And he's like, "I'm just a wee quiet guy wanting to go for a pint." Said the stuff
Johnny,
you and your boy. I mean, I don't want me to threesome. Said you and your boy keep doing threesomes. And he's like, "I've never done a threesome, boy."
He's the only guy, his dad's the only guy that just wears a Johnny every day.
Just start kicking about.
Total protection in it. Total protection. He's always stood by that. No,
By
but
talking to that Super Sunday yesterday in the English Premier League, what a load of shite.
I watched the Chelsea game.
Dissect day 2 fucking games for us, please, because I don't know what the
Sean
fuck
Dyche must get sacked right now because I don't like people losing their jobs. That guy,
he's a ginger dinosaur.
Oh my, he's the first, isn't he? The first of the kind. But I couldn't. But see when Pickford was passing out to the, I mean, he didn't really pass out the odd time it came to a centre half. The team just looked totally and utterly lost.
As to what was happening.
Aye, there was no
Is he dead passing that?
Aye, it was unbelievable.
How bad are Chelsea?
Chelsea, I told you, Pochettino, the guy ain't got a clue.
But Chelsea are at least decent until they get to the box and then they're miles off in the box.
Chelsea have just pulled 11 guys out of the pub, mate. I didn't know any of their players, mate.
No.
Mate, did you see their bench? They spent 700 million. Go look at their bench.
It's under 13s on the bench, isn't it?
It's not kids.
What about we guys?
Spent the money.
What about we guys? Neville keeps on saying it's the Glazers' fault, Man U.
Didn't get me started on Man United, mate. That baldy bastard needs to go.
What about Brighton done to them, by the way? But do you know the thing is?
But it's not amazing, mate. Man United are about 5 yards off every player.
You said
I'm not impressing them and being 5 yards off them.
You know, they were high, but they weren't pressing. It was the weirdest ever. So the defence had to drop because it was time on the ball and there was about 60 yards between the defence and the strikers.
Right.
But was he not playing a diamond?
The way Man U played was
diamond,
bad, right? But Ten Hag's performance in the post-match was well
What
worse.
could take it?
What about when he was saying how much money Brighton spent? And the journalist says their starting 11 cost 16 million. He's like,
Wow.
aye, but they've spent money. The journalist fired right back. That starting 11 cost 16 million.
Is it not just amazing?
fraud, mate.
Is it not amazing you see Brighton like a Lallana and Welbeck guys that sort of near the end
Amazing,
and they're still playing that type of football?
I know.
Brilliant, innit?
That's what I'm saying. To see when I argue with Derek and stuff like that on the Coopman Show, the players are not good enough to do it. Brighton had players playing. I said that Lewis Dunk used to kick the ball up the pitch in League One.
He looks the best.
They've made,
mate.
they've made 6 changes going to Old Trafford as well.
Aye, for the week
1-3-1.
before, the Newcastle game.
Evan Felson's got a hat-trick next week, Ben. Sit down. Unbelievable.
It's just brilliant. I think that deserves be just. If I was Man U, then I'd get ready.
So would I,
Put
mate.
the wee man in.
I remember speaking to Billy Reid about him and Billy Reid said he was unbelievable.
Who said that, mate?
Billy Reid said he was unbelievable.
Said who, De Zerbi?
De Zerbi, aye.
How does he know him?
Because when they were at Brighton, was no De Zerbi knowing the...
No, I think he came in after the.
He came in after Paul.
Billy said he's just what he's doing was a joke and really so impressive. So
I told you, didn't I? I bumped into Lewis Dunk in January and he was talking about him, said he's the best. Said he's incredible, aye.
What is it? Every pass means something, that? There's a reason why
I've said to Davy Weir, because Davy Weir's director of football, and like, I'm desperate to go down and watch them town for a week. So any chance I get, I could fucking do it now. Probably.
Jinky's still likes his arse at Brighton.
Gordon Greer said the same to him.
I'd love to go and watch them.
Apparently Gordon says he loves people watching training. That doesn't talk much to people in that, but he loves people watching, so there's always people in there watching. You think that's something to say?
Your dad's the same, he loves people watching.
We need to be careful. We need to be careful with you, man.
But how does it...
He's not happy.
Why does everyone not try and see like Sean Dyche? Why doesn't he look at De Zerbi and go, obviously that's successful? Like, how is what I'm doing ever going to be successful?
I think
nobody's ever successful doing it. Why am I continuing to keep kicking the ball at the pitch?
I think
why do you think?
I know. I don't know.
Yeah, but you're on it. Sean Dyche is that's
He's
who
had
he's coached
success
for
doing
20, 30 years.
His best.
What,
time.
staying in the Premier League?
But his eyes, that's success.
Aye.
If that's what
Plus,
he
when
wants
he
to
left,
do.
Burnley went straight down, didn't he?
But imagine going to watch that. Seriously, imagine paying money to watch that.
Watch that, mate.
I genuinely think that Sean Dyche thinks that because he kept Everton up last year, he's done a fucking unbelievable job, and he's just now hoping to get enough points to stay up again this year. But that can't be. Everton fans can't be happy.
He went 4-4-2. Know that formations are massive, but he went 4-4-2, 2 big strikers. You could tell him at the end he was telling people to pump it up.
Aye. Get the second balls.
It's a classic, isn't it?
But even like you say, if you're going to kick it up, just go for your goalie, kick it up, everyone. They're passing it out, putting 2 passes in, then booting it, and the centre back's miles.
They didn't know
That's
them.
old one. Play if it's on. Are we playing for the back? Aye, if it's on.
Every time it goes in, you're like that to your manager. It's on now.
Aye.
Not on this time up.
B5.
Oh, incredible. Right, Andrew, what a weekend for the old Hearts. They look like they're back, didn't they?
Massive result, that.
Aye,
Andy.
just watch it.
Seen the highlights?
Watch the highlights, mate.
Good, really good. Comfortable, to be honest. Didn't start great the first 10-15 minutes, and I thought with both teams, like, not being on the best of forms, I always thought the first goal in the first 15-20 minutes was going to be important. Then Aberdeen probably started a better, really direct. I mean, the boy Kelly Roos, how he never pulled a hammer, the amount of shells he was doing the last first 10-15 minutes, but
Barry Robson's on the front of Sean Dyche before the game, wasn't he?
put us under a bit of pressure early, and then the goal obviously comes at a really good time, and then after that I thought we were really good, really comfortable, lot of control, probably never created as much as we could, but to be honest I didn't really feel as if Aberdeen really put us under any pressure after that. Never really fancied them to go and score.
They're quite direct, eh?
Oh, aye. Well, who was good for Hearts? Sorry, Kev.
That's okay.
Few boys, to be fair, I think as a collective were good. Thought Natty Atkinson was really good again. I thought the back four in general were really good because, like I says, Duke and Miovski are good players. Don't get me wrong. Aberdeen's probably two best players, and they were both very, very quiet in the game. So
what about the first goal? Lack of pressure for Aberdeen. Is it the full-back, wing-back, left wing-back? Oda.
Scoot.
I never understand why did defenders back off?
Aye.
That deep into the box.
I think initially you want to sort of back off and try and delay to get bodies back, but when you realise the bodies aren't getting back quick enough, then you need to obviously get some type of pressure on them.
Both goals came through the left side. Like even the second goal, I don't know what the boy's doing. Just kick that ball out the park if you think he tried to take a touch, and then he's robbed, shot, rebound, goal.
Boyce and Shanks as well are on a bit. Their partnership.
Clever footballer. He's a clever footballer. Drops into the right spaces.
See Aberdeen under Barry Robson, one thing I'd expect him to be is aggressive and getting after people, but even on sports, it showed to be one at the end where, again, but 3 yards off every player, and then you're just popping the ball in them.
I think the honeymoon period's up there.
The thing is they've got good players, and they've obviously, I don't know how much they spent, but they've spent a lot of money for a Scottish team, especially outside Old Firm.
Yep.
They brought in maybe 7, 8, 9 players. There was a few new players in the starting 11 again, so it might just be one of them, but it will take a bit of time. But I've not really seen much of them. Actually, when I seen them against Celtic the second game, I actually thought they were decent in spells.
Half they were the better team.
But at the weekend they were really direct, and I wasn't expecting them to be, because like I said, they've never really been that type of team. When I watched them against Celtic, they weren't even that direct. But
what were they like last year when you played against them?
When he took over, we played them at Tannadice not long after, but they were mere possession based. They had the ball in our half for long spells. We were sitting in a shape, and then they ended up, I think they beat us 3-1 but we were well in the game. Probably should have been winning, and then they scored in the second. Duke bit of magic in the box, and then he scored. He done
that's
something
right, so he did, mate. That was outstanding.
Scored a back heel, he was brilliant. Before we went 2-0 down, but we were probably the better team with the better chances. I think it better finish 3-1 or something then. But
was that a 3-5-2 as well, Charlie, they played?
No, they played a back four that night. Played a back four. But I noticed they played a 3 in that European game. I messaged you that night, remember? I thought they were
played a 3 against us at the weekend.
Even when they had the ball in their half, within 5 seconds, they gave it away and they were defending again. It was like no composure to play around. I just thought maybe it was early in the season, they might get better. But
do you think that might be a problem for Aberdeen going forward? Obviously with the group stages starting this week, is he going to tinker with the formation and stuff to suit different games, and then players don't really know a set? Like surely you should just set up the way you're going to play for the full season.
He seems to be playing that the whole time though, doesn't he?
3-5-2.
He seems to be doing that. He seems to be coming out with a hell of a lot of excuses and all.
But see, if you've got Jamie McGrath playing in the 10, surely you need to pass the ball into his feet, otherwise there's no point in him playing.
Yep.
I don't know, it's strange, isn't it?
What was McGrath like again at United?
Good player, aye. He's a runner as well, work hard, run, chase things down, but he is a good football player.
Clarkson, McGrath, good football players, middle of the pitch, isn't
I thought Clarkson was their best player at the weekend. No by being amazing, but
just the ball
showing a bit of composure. I think a couple of times when there was a bit of a stramash second balls, he was just taking a touch and keeping the ball for them. But like I said, I was expecting it to be a tough game, because I think it always is when Hearts and Aberdeen play each other. But no, I thought we were good. We were really comfortable.
Aberdeen struggled at Tynecastle, like that. So the last couple of games, that's 2-0 and 5-0 the last time.
That's 10.
Aye.
10. Hearts are 10 unbeaten against Aberdeen at Tynecastle.
At Tynecastle, I read that.
To be fair, see when you're through a bad spell, like Aberdeen are obviously under pressure at Tynecastle. The hardest thing is probably, as a manager, I'd imagine, and as a player, is to say, right, we're playing football today, this is our, if it's not exactly what you believe in, to say this is what we're doing, we're playing football, we're playing for the back, this is what we do. That's probably the hardest moment. That's when you see what a football team are all about. Are they an actual football team? Do they believe that in the hardest moments when the light's on them, that they're going to actually play, and that's what they're going to revert to? Or are we going to revert to going, let's launch it, because that's not taking risks? That's more my shock though, Charlie. It's more the fact I never thought they were that type of team. So then seeing them play like that at the weekend, I thought,
did you press them to make
that's when you really see.
Did you press them to make them launch it, or did they just decide?
No, we did, but I'm talking about KFC free kicks.
All right, everything.
Free kicks.
No, you try to work something.
Kelly Roos was taking all the free kicks.
See,
even when he was under pressure, it was getting back to him, and nobody was driving off to take it. They were all just kind of squeezing up to kick it, and that's a sign that I've been there myself as a player, and if you've no got the clear instruction of we play regardless, this is what we do. I think in Scotland, and Britain to a certain extent, more so in Scotland at the moment, we revert back to, right, let's get it long, let's play simply. Whereas I think abroad, they revert back to, let's get the ball.
Keep it,
let's get a touch of the ball, and everybody gets a touch of the ball.
I think last
He's
season
done
as
that
well.
yesterday, no? I'd say Nathan Esmith said after the game he's played a lot more than he's have in previous games.
But I think, to be fair, I think our instruction most of the time is to play. But yesterday was probably just better at it. But I think last year that was a weakness of ours, where probably physicality and set pieces were two areas where we weren't great. Conceded the most corners in the league, most wide footy kicks in the league, and any direct balls was probably an area we struggled. But I think we're no that team this year. So I don't know if Aberdeen have maybe thought they were quite soft last year. We'll put them under pressure. But
I would say something as a player.
Yeah.
If I was a player, I would say something to Robson with that style. What
would you say?
What would you say in front of everyone? Would you
I was doing a team meeting. I would say that's not going to work. We're not going to do that. I couldn't. I wouldn't do it in a derogatory way. I wouldn't do that because you don't disrespect a manager. But I think with Finn, you're right. You've got every right to say to the manager, I don't think that's. We need to play more than that. I don't mind sometimes going direct if you maybe see, because I think they said the boy Kai Rowe struggled the last game. With playing direct. So maybe if they said that, but you can't just keep bashing it and bashing it. It was after a while you've got to say to yourself, this isn't working. So if I was a player at half time, I said, Barry, come on.
Players are not like that, though, no matter. I don't think.
But do you know? I think if I was a manager, I would respect that. I think. No, somebody disrespecting me in a way. There's a way of doing that.
I always believe that when you're on the park, even though your manager gave you instructions on how to play, and you've probably sensed as yourself, you know sometimes in your own self, you've sensed that if we maybe just revert back to something a wee bit different here, I think we'll get more joy of this. You'll feel that, you'll sense it, but the manager can't see it because he's on the touchline, whereas when you're actually on the park and involved, and like you say there, our player's going to say something.
Mate, I've heard that before. Jonathan Douglas at Swindon had a massive say, and he proper football player, mate. Good football player. Good. We were struggling at the time, and manager was like, get the ball forward before the game, brings us out, like, fuck that, we're passing it. You're like, oh no, man. Because you're trying to pass it, and the manager's like, get it forward, like, he's fucking telling us to pass it. He was such a massive influence on the players, Dougie, mate. You're like, fuck it, we're passing it, man. I actually just went with what he fucking said on the pitch.
You're going to say you were saying an example?
I can't remember what it was.
I've killed it. It's probably better than my
What were you talking about there?
It was just obviously
about players saying to the manager.
That wasn't an example.
See if you think it, I'll just say something.
No, what I was going to say was it's hard for that. Just say you sat there and said, well, we should play, but if the manager doesn't believe it, then you're going to get some players like in that game yesterday. The Aberdeen keeper Rose gets the ball.
One goes to drop.
The other two turn their back and face the other way.
Yeah.
So when that boy receives the ball, he's looking at people's jerseys going, well, I don't want it. The managers don't want it. I think unless you demand to play, and especially in this country when we've not been brought up with that style of football, if you don't demand it as a manager, it's easy for people just to hide. Because you know the manager's not going to pull it up.
Players will always take the easy option, won't they?
Yep.
But I didn't think it was on to play. If you say it's play when it's on to play, they'll always say I didn't think it was on to play.
See when I played,
but nobody ever says I didn't think it was on to play, but play long. Whereas sometimes there's no space behind, and it's well on to play, but people will still play long. But that's a safety because you'll never get into trouble for that.
Yeah. So they try to play long in terms of trying to get like balls over the top into like Duke to run into.
It wasn't even over the top, mate. I could understand you trying to put it down the sides, or it was just basically kicked up to them, mate.
And that's strange because when you've got somebody like Duke and Mioska who can take the ball at the feet and get turned and get running.
Even if you drop it in their body, into the space.
Yeah.
I think even Chinny, Clarkson, and McGrath are
football players,
aren't they?
Do you think when owners in Scotland are interviewing managers, I'll say the top league, SPFL, do you think that a style of play, the owner, that's one of the things he's looking for the most in a manager?
No.
Near they are. See, I was thinking, I watched a lot of European football this weekend. I was watching Sostad going to Bernabeu. I was watching Betis going to Barca. Studying it all. These teams need no much money compared to the clubs, and they're still playing. But these owners are continually hiring guys that playing. I think Scotland, I don't even know if that would they ask the manager
I think the difference might be in Scotland we don't have many guys in between the manager to the chairman, so we don't have directors of football who would implement that idea.
So
whereas in England and the top leagues around Europe, most clubs would have a director of football.
See when Barry Robson goes in, right, and they're interviewing for the job, are they asking him, what's your style of play? does that come into the thinking?
No, it was
who's
different for him
getting
because they seen his
Aye.
style of play for 6 months before it, didn't they? Because he came as an intern.
But I just think I look at the Scottish team. Listen, I'm not having a go at MD. I'm just saying, I look at the sort of play some of the Scottish teams, and I just wonder when they're hiring managers, do they ask sort of what way you want to play? I don't know.
I think they must.
So when you go to the boardroom, you're going to
you?
have to get asked that question: what style of football are you bringing to our club? What am I going to expect? What are our fans going to expect if I hire you?
But see, whatever you say in that boardroom,
No, I know. It's just to get
whatever
the job.
you say in that boardroom, the truth gets shown
On the pitch.
when the light's shining on you.
It's a classic,
And you're 1-0
classic
down at-
driver's lesson, that.
Aye, you're
Time like that
you're
for
1-0 down at
18
Tynecastle.
lessons that you pass your test like that.
And it's hard to, it's hard to comment. It's hard, obviously we're sitting here and this is what we're talking about, but it's hard to criticise a wee bit because I don't know that feeling of
I've been under
being in
pressure.
Barry Robson's,
Yeah.
going to Tynecastle, second bottom of the league, having been put out of Europe with a lot of pressure on his shoulders. I'm sure Barry Robson likes to play football, but he's thought, as you say, last year maybe you were weaker at set pieces or longer balls, and he's maybe thought, right, this is an easier way to do it, and it must be hard, but
Because ultimately, when he's obviously been playing away like he's second bottom of the league, so he maybe thinks he has to change it just to try and get a result.
Get a
He
result
probably
in the
thinks
end,
yesterday, I need to get in there, and if I come away from Tynecastle with a point, playing the way we did, that's a good point. Steady the ship a wee bit, keeps the pressure after things.
But surely when you're signing players in the summer, right, you're
You're signing them to
players
fit
to play
the-
a certain style.
I know.
If I look at your signings in the summer and you sign Clarkson, Shinney and McGrath,
Yep.
that's because you want to play football.
Yep.
There's no point in going 6 games into the season and go, see, you three, I told you we're going to pass the ball to you. You're not going to need to try and go and win fucking second bonds.
I know.
But I think,
Not gonna work.
see the thing with director of football, you mentioned director of football and the role they've got.
Yeah.
And I don't want this to come across the wrong way because Barry Robson done a brilliant job at the end of last year and he still could do a brilliant job this year if
Yeah.
we don't get third in that again. But we spoke about it so much in the show that Derek McInnes got the sack for Aberdeen for being so consistent, a lot of success for Aberdeen at the time, and a big reason was people saying is the brand of football isn't good enough to watch. They didn't like the style, didn't like watching it. Then I put you Stephen Glass, who was a possession-based manager, didn't work. And then after that, it seems like, do you know what, we're no bothered about that now, we just want to win games again. Because then Jim Goodwin came in, it never really had that sort of possession-based style. Didn't really work, he left, and then Barry Robson's came in and got a bunch of results last year. Whereas I think the role of director of football, like you spoke about, was you sign players to fit a style. If that manager goes, you bring in a manager that fits the same mould of players, the same style. Whereas without that, you're just
Managers
you're
just
appointing
signing.
people for results, aren't you?
And knowing Barry Robson, the way he played the game, you would like to think he wants to play the ball on the deck.
Yeah.
just say he wins at Tynecastle. What does he do next game?
Is
You
that
need to
way
do
they
the same,
play?
don't you?
They do the same, then you lose that one.
What do you do? Right, we're
What do you
back to
do
playing.
then? So you're, by the December, you're still like chasing that win. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if you started doing all that, well, it's difficult. You need to win games, and that's part of it. But everybody's got their own
It's the
way of doing
winning games, that's the first and foremost, it's the results, isn't it? You need results.
I tell you what, Frankfurt on Thursdays.
Wow.
Rock, paper, scissors, you should play before
Sean Dyson's advice never works off phone, Big Charlie. Rock, paper, scissors.
Frankfurt doesn't get much harder though, does
Oh,
it?
they're a good side.
B. Goetze plays with him.
Who?
B. Goetze.
Does he? Was it Dortmund?
I've never been a big fan.
You know, no, he's a wee bit of a wee traitor, isn't he? Is it? What can you only see a bad result coming here?
They'd be hard for anybody.
How have they started the season? You're obviously our German
No
football
great.
correspondent.
No great.
Have they not, mate?
No, a lot of draws in there. No set of the.
Alright, well, maybe there is a wee chance for Aberdeen in there.
Nah, I don't think.
See
it's
what I
just
will
with
say
Aberdeen's
about
performances.
see what I will say. I don't know what you think, but see, playing European teams, I think the worst teams to play are German teams, honestly, because they're so athletic. They run so like that. They're just all about running and power and pace. Whereas I think.
That Spanish team might just
See,
want
use
to
an example. My first European game was against Villarreal. I don't know if you found this. See, in possession, it's one of the easiest games of football I've ever played. They depressed you. Whereas, see, when they get the ball,
Germans are
it was
smashing,
They're
yeah.
efficient,
so
aren't
hard because you couldn't get the ball off them.
So if you're
But see,
balls off your
Germans,
arse,
man,
innit?
oh,
Take your big balls off your arse.
he's
Now,
that
Barry
fucking
Robson,
ball.
how you setting about Thursday night against Eintracht Frankfurt?
Hard to beat, definitely.
Hard to
they
beat
got
to try and
paper,
catch
scissors,
him on the
paper as
counter.
well?
Aye. Rock, paper, scissors, aye.
100 games of rock, paper, scissors.
I might actually bring the boys in to Charlie for a wee half hour because
Getting
that would
two rock,
be...
paper, scissors the whole flight.
Aye.
Scissors or rock, paper.
See any
Right,
he's
you're
not
scoring
playing, you're not
it.
playing.
Oh, you've got to enjoy it though, haven't
Yeah,
you?
do you know what I just remembered? Because I'm looking at him tell a story about the trousers. Is that the ones?
What ones?
Didn't say the shop, but he went and bought 2 pairs of trousers. Never even asked how much it was, and then he went up to the till. The two pair of trousers you bought,
Right?
700 quid.
Tongs! Would you believe that? You believe anything? Did you? 2 pair of trousers, 700 quid.
Did Big Ed get to you?
Oh, so he
Get back
did.
to you?
Legend.
Did he get the big
Absolute
thing?
legend, aye.
Did you want
Wasn't
to
he happy? I'm dealing with his lawyers now, aye.
That's what he says about lawyers, I'll be on to you.
What, being serious?
Ah, he's having a laugh. What a
Oh,
legend.
right. What a guy.
Yeah, you know. What want it, Paul? There's a
got-
team that's the Isle of Motherwell.
Oh, brilliant. They were actually
Yeah,
very,
they did,
Motherwell were very unlucky, weren't
Aye,
they?
they
good
played
team,
on
by the way.
Saturday.
Aye, they were
Playing
very
through the lines up to striker, step
Aye.
back through,
That round the
spittle
corner,
and
back
started
forward.
together.
Oh, no, wait a
Really
minute.
good.
Sorry, I need to interrupt you. Oh, McLeish. Alex McLeish did text me, right? And then John McGinn got in touch with me and said I'd got the story a bit wrong
Right.
and I'd missed an absolute gem. So in before that Mexico game, Alex McLeish pulled him, right? She says, you need to watch for that arse hang and all that, right? And then says to him, but I thought you done well on your debut. McGinn went, that wasn't my debut, that was my 10th cap. He went, you played like it was your debut? Legend, man.
Oh, I hear
Greatest
him,
guy
man.
ever, man.
Motherwell.
Some
Good
fit
They
fun,
did
by the
play
way.
some very good stuff, didn't they? Aye.
Do you know who looked good? Stephen O'Donnell.
Aye.
Seen the build up, he looked like he was making some excellent decisions.
Well, see the when we played Motherwell a couple of weeks ago, I know we spoke. Well, I mentioned Lennon Miller a fair bit, but Callum Slattery and Blair Spittle had a couple of days. See the
together.
1-2 combinations. That how many did they at the weekend? There
Uh-huh.
chances.
Spittle's a
Xavi
good
and
player,
Ernest,
isn't he?
mate.
There's a good player. Aye.
That is a typical Stephen Robinson away performance,
Aye.
wasn't it?
Aye.
Listen,
Mate, St Mirren did really well
flying
as
as
well.
well. Let's not beat about the bush. Second in the league. But I was impressed with Motherwell. Very impressed with Motherwell, but that goal surely can be avoidable when you're fucking putting a cross in for 35 yards out in the bottom.
Good finish though, innit?
Great finish.
do you know
He's
what's
a good
happened?
player, the boy Ryan Strain.
Aye, he's a good
His
player.
delivery is
Aye.
excellent. Do you know
Yeah,
what's
he's a good
happened? Centre half's on the outside of the right back.
Aye.
Typical centre half. I need to get in
I know.
to my centre half position.
Leaves the guy
Leaves that
behind.
guy
Yeah.
behind. Touch.
Whereas
It's
if
a
he-
great finish.
it's a
Great
great finish,
finish.
but where's
O'Donnell
the-
just comes across and he just comes in as the right back.
But the time he's got to cross that ball in for 35 yards, and it's as if he's been allowed to cross it because they think, oh, we'll deal with that in the box, and they haven't dealt with it. And a great finish, but listen, two decent teams by the way.
Doing great.
Motherwell, I think
They're
the two of
both
them
doing
could
well.
easily
Tanzer's a
say.
good player as well, fullback. Came from
Who?
St Johnstone. Tanzer, the guy who
Aye.
scored. I like Tanzer, he's done well for them.
Mate, what about Kettle? I never even noticed Kettlewell's record. So
Aye.
since
Aye.
he got the job, he was 2 points less than Celtic.
Celtic.
Up until the weekend, so it'll be
That's
5 now. But
unbelievable.
that's
Brilliant, isn't it?
mental, innit?
Done some job, mate. Eh?
Just shows you, doesn't it? Just shows you. Moving on to-
And they
Aye,
are
but
like,
they've lost. I think they've lost Van Veen, who scored 30 whatever goals, and they're still performing well.
That's a big
Lost
loss.
Alan Burrows as well, didn't they?
And I have a
Greatest thing could have happened to him,
Alan
innit?
Burrows was getting
Greatest
praised
thing
last
could
year, and now he's fucking on a.
Best thing could have
He's on a shiggly peg now.
No, but he was out shaking all the fans' hands before the game. Brilliant, man. Give me 100 grand here, I'll go with fucking shaking every grand.
So, do you want to talk about your game?
Nah.
No, keep that off.
Who
You're
were you
down to the
playing?
bare bones, mate.
Ah,
You were
shit.
meant to come and you never came again.
No, I'm going to. I wanted to come to the. I don't like cup games.
see, to be fair, I was supposed to come last week and I didn't feel well. I
No, I was
apologise
supposed to
for that.
come.
Not
Yeah.
feeling a lot of support this year,
No,
eh?
honestly, mate, I watch every
I think,
highlight.
see, as soon as we start getting beat for you, you'll be there every fucking week.
I'll be there.
No, to be fair, Maple were actually really well set up.
What's going on with injuries?
Mate, 6-1 up, 2 minutes to go, down to the bare bones as it is. Ball comes up, your centre half, he does the ball, falls on his, mate, his bone pops out his arm. Out for 3 months
What
now.
chance have you got?
Never seen anything like it,
What
mate.
injuries? What's mainly the injuries? I know that's a bone, but what is
A
it?
lot of
mainly?
hamstrings, mate. Eh?
Is it?
Oh, so something to do with their training, mate?
Do you know what it is, mate? It is.
Too hard.
Big areas.
We've said
No.
it, not intensity of training, mate. Eh?
Well, maybe I think Charlie should forget about his pitch sizes.
Aye, scrap base sizes,
Maybe
mate.
they're wrong.
take him in for 10 years. See the Hammy
But mate, see what you talking about? I've told you about a part-time job all weekend, phoning managers, trying to get players in.
I don't think football for you will
not a
ever be
part-time job,
part-time, mate. I
mate.
don't.
I've not been funny, but I know you'll hate me bringing this up, but is there a chance that the old Ferry gets the boots back on?
That was
Surely,
disgusting, mate.
Would you
Were you
all right?
raging?
I don't only play sweeper. You'll need to go to a back free.
Oh no!
I couldn't get up against it. I couldn't
Charlie
do it.
could do a wee roll up top, surely.
Could you not know?
Text him, but after that Robbie Ure episode and the Fletcher, I mean, see Saturday night, I was that close, and I was like, nah.
Would you, mate?
Because I'd have been another custard pie.
Would
He
you
wouldn't
do a
have done
wee
it,
game,
would you?
Charlie?
Wait a minute, let's ask him live.
Yeah, a month,
No,
No.
I wouldn't.
How come?
It's not in it,
Doesn't
mate. You
want to pass
wouldn't.
the ball, mate. See if I told him we're going to boot it, he'd play it.
Aye.
Play it.
Is it?
If you say to me, play if it's on, I'll come. And games are rock, paper, scissors before the kick-off.
Is it in progress with you,
What do you mean?
career-wise?
No, had I finished the last time I was on here? I had retired.
No, I don't think you did, no.
No, congrats on the career, mate.
Congrats on the career.
Unbelievable. Honestly, what a career it was.
What's your highlight? One highlight.
One highlight.
Why don't we ask him a few quick fires at the end?
Aye, let's do
About
it.
his
aye.
career.
Let's fire it in there.
Quick fire ones that take 45 minutes.
Aye, they ones.
Keep the end going, aye.
Favourite team, mate?
Best teammate. Got to say Scott Brown.
Favourite manager?
Favourite manager. Neil Lennon.
Best bit about being a footballer.
Money. That six
Cash.
bedroom,
Best
that
thing.
eight bedroom house.
As a kid,
The eight bedroom house in Lindsay.
as a kid growing up and wanting to be a footballer, what was it during your career that made you realise that, this is it?
Do you know what I've realised since I've retired, by the way, right?
You were honking.
Aye, that as well. But see, in a Friday and a Saturday, how relaxed. Like genuinely never even knew how much pressure was on my shoulders.
Aye.
I don't know if everybody's like that, by the way. I don't know if I was just, a bit too much, or different people are different, but see the way you wake up Saturday morning, mate, the pit of your stomach, you're like, oh.
Mate, I know what you mean. See if you're going for playing to coaching now, I didn't get that either. Nah, no coaching.
Do you
Nah.
know?
That
I thought it'd be
playing
lots
wise,
coaching.
nah.
Aye.
Playing,
Sorry,
just because you're there, you need to perform, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's so much pressure on your
Pressure,
shoulders,
aye.
isn't there?
Do you enjoy not having that now?
I'm really enjoying not having that, and it's no. I've never once looked at the games on a Saturday and thought, oh, I wish I was playing. And that's when I know I've made the right decision.
Is food not the biggest thing? It's
another thing.
Food, man's the biggest thing for me.
So like everything, you don't even. That's something I've realised as well. So just be daft things, man. Like a can of Hein Brew on a Friday afternoon, you're like, oh, I'll just have it, or a beer. You just go, I'll have a beer. Whereas you go like that, I've got a game and I'll not take that.
It's fucking 86 calories now.
Aye.
I'll leave it.
Weighing yourself and all that. Pinching your stomach every 2 minutes.
I do that all the time.
You and Alana have got a lot closer as well.
She's loving it. Me
Rolling
being about
about a
all
lot
the
more,
time.
huh? Good
Rolling
for
about a lot more.
Good for you, mate. Good for you. Michael Beale talking rolling about. Oh, you want to keep going with your
No,
questions?
we'll go back. We'll just
Come back to the end, so I'll have a cup.
No. Hi.
When's this flying order analysis coming up? And are you nervous about it?
No, not at all. I've done my research. I've done it for
Did we
months.
draft back up the PSV thing? The last time I was on, we were talking about PSV manager
Right.
Clarkson.
Peter
Still
Bob.
early in the season. Still
Is
very
it?
early in the
Right,
season.
okay.
And they're flying. They're
So you
flying.
still
I
think
tell
you
you
will?
one thing I've seen. Feyenoord,
When we-
17 goals they've scored in the last
17
3
goals.
games.
That was
Oh,
part
you've
of
just
my
took
analysis.
about his analysis.
Sorry, Paul. But you'll go way more in depth than that. That's just a daft
That was the
stat.
That was
biggest
his
point.
bag.
Cut that out and you say
Aye,
that.
cut it, aye.
That was the biggest point.
Say it
I know.
again.
No,
Differently.
but aye. No, but listen.
Many goals they scored.
On? Or the last 3 games?
Aye.
17.
Wow.
17 goals.
What's
But-
their shape?
But the thing that Andy's, he's embarrassed me there. He has embarrassed me there, and I don't like that.
Sorry, mate.
No, not at all, no. I'll speak to you after the show. No, but what happened, I'll tell you, we're going to the nudges quickly. I'll give you a wee bit of the nudges because I'm on the stroll here.
On your what, sorry?
I know.
He's on the stroll, that's the roll, and stroll at the same.
17 goals in 3 games. The top goal scorer last season, Jimenez, and the top goal scorer this season is suspended. He's out the tie. Red cards last year against Roma Europa League. He will not play the first 2 games. Now, Slot, the final manager, right? Remember Spurs wanted him, Ange pipped him. Slot goes to the board in the summer and says, we can't go into the Champions League
With
with a striker who's missing the first 2 games. We're going to spend €9 million
Right.
on we guy Ueda. Keeps Kyogo out the team in Japan. he's injured. So there are no strikers for this game. The only thing is, there was a Japanese journalist who's been overheard at the final game on Saturday saying Ueda's is fit. So we've got a feeling Slot's trying to play Rodgers a bit. So I've got a feeling he might start.
What about in terms of shape, formation, style of play?
4-2-3-1. I can name you, see, remember, I'll do this after the Rangers bit. I'll name their starting 11 for tomorrow night. Remember Mourinho done it with Chelsea and Barcelona?
Aye.
So I'll name their starting 11. 4-2-3-1, they will play. And
Rotations, or is it just...
No, it's rotations, but what they've started... See if you watch, I watched games last year in the Europa League when we were playing, and it was very much the wide players come in and the...
Fullbacks high.
Fullbacks really high. Similar to you, Si,
Where could
last
Celtic
season.
get joy then?
I ain't finished my bit here yet. What I've noticed is they're bringing the fullback in now. Whatever sort of Ange's done, obviously Pep done it with Stone, so they're bringing him in now. And see, watching it, it's very hard to pinpoint and go, will they do this? Because in different times, they'll change it up a wee bit. What they do is look to play through the lines very, very quickly. So if Celtic's press ain't right, or their distances ain't right, they'll be killed. They really will, because they do not give you a second try to break through the lines. Very good at it. But without that focal point up front,
What about off the ball?
press you. They will press you.
I know, how do they press?
So they'll go, what they'll do is, so Celtic are going to go kick, their centre forward, lock onto a centre half, 10 pushes up, 2 centre push up.
When one of the centre backs jumps in?
Aye, centre. That's what I was going to ask you. Seen that instance, so one of your centre mids goes up, would your centre half go into
one of their 8s? Or one of their 10, definitely, I would.
Would they? And leave the one striker 1v1?
I would, that's how we did, mate.
Do you? No. Wow. Would you do that? So
Depends what it was.
So for your goal kick. So
the ball goes to left centre back.
I'll reverse it so it's more clearer. I'll say Celtic, right?
Have we got the tactics board, sorry?
No.
No.
So let's say Celtic are pressing them, right? So Kyogo goes on to one of their centre halves.
That's what they done last year, wasn't it? That's how they press one.
And CV Rangers, remember? And Turnbull went up to the centre half.
Yep.
And then McGregor come up as make the 2 with O'Reilly, right? Onto the 2 centre mids.
One of them would need to jump onto the centre if it's a 4-3-3.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye. But so would you have your centre half going into there, like into a 10 of that? In the middle? Would you do that? Aye. It's risky though, isn't it?
But then see on that...
Then you're going to have a spare man if you
Risky
don't,
reward,
innit?
See on that, Stanley, how you've got the boy up front that's suspended, and obviously Yeda. Who is likely to be that
Pat
guy?
Shaw. Pat Shaw's out of this world.
And what's he like in terms of...
Right winger, aye. But they've got a wee guy on loan for Newcastle. He's coming on, scored 3
John
games.
Carver, innit?
John Carver's coming on loan. He's been brilliant for them.
Has he been good?
I'm surprised they're giving him as much game time as he's getting. But he has been playing. So no, listen, it's going to be, as Andy said, 17 goals in 3 games.
Very good, Paul.
Brilliant, isn't it?
And I'll tell you something.
Well done.
Why he's the best about just now. Watched a lot of football last week, a lot of punditries and a lot of people speaking about football, especially on Hibs. Not one person could say how Montgomery was going to play, the formation, the style.
It's got it spot on, didn't I?
Spot on.
I noticed that last night.
Told you, mate, you're the main man, then.
Give me a, come on.
Well
Bring
played.
it in.
You're sweating, man.
Oh, no, leave it.
It's ringing. That's outrageous.
Oh, you've done that.
No, but it's that bad. I had to mention it. You might have to cut that.
Oh,
That-
fuck.
No. Do you know when I started the talk?
Passion.
I felt it
Pissed yourself.
I felt it dripping.
That's passion.
Do you want a shake check? See if the fingers are shaking?
Yeah,
Just sit like that.
very shaky.
Aye, I get shaky and stuff. But
That's your finest moment.
That was good, that.
I
Like that.
do you know what I would have loved though? The tactic board for you to fire questions it is. Do you know what I mean?
We
So
need
you
to
can
get a
actually
permanent
show
fixture,
scenarios.
that tactic
It'll be even
board's
better,
sit there.
Paul. See tomorrow night, if that's how it all goes to set something and somebody's maybe listened in for Celtic and they were able to counter what you've just said, that would be outrageous, wouldn't it?
I just wonder who they'll go up front if the Japanese striker is out and Slot's no playing mind games.
Carver, innit? John Carver.
Will they go with him up front himself? But he's busy in the room at night.
Well, Lewis
He's been knackered, aye, so.
Brilliant. Right, Rangers, who watched it? You still got Rangers DVD,
Didn't
Kev?
No, I was busy Saturday afternoon, so I was playing golf. Charlie's had a few games of golf derby, but I've been noticing, getting
How'd
in
you get on
better.
with the golf?
Huh?
How'd you get on?
We bogeyed the last hole to lose the competition. Pish.
We had a discussion, we had a disagreement.
Scramble was brilliant.
Aye.
Brilliant. Rangers, good result.
No bogeys in scramble, mate. You can't.
No, that was it. 7 birdies we had and then bogeyed the 18th. Rangers, good result, 2-0. I would say against possibly one of the weaker teams in the Premier League, the rest of Johnson. So, I'd be looking for a really improved performance, but by all accounts, I don't think it was much better. I think.
Well, there was a disagreement between two here. One thought there was.
Yeah, I would get heated before the show. Aye.
No, Andy said a bit better, but a bit doesn't really cut it for me. I think Rangers fans are looking for a wee bit more. Great to see Danilo getting off
the mark.
Off the mark. Obviously sad to see that he's fractured his cheekbone.
Oh,
That was a bad game,
Is it for a right few?
It looks nasty, doesn't it?
Which is a shame because obviously when you sign somebody for £6.5 million, you want them in the team every week. But
needs stronger cheekbones.
Have you ever been knocked out in a pitch?
aye.
Aye.
Have you? Against who?
Slovenia, number 21s. Slovenia.
The only thing, getting knocked out, I get knocked out the training ground and I still don't know to this day how I got Ryan O'Reilly.
Did he?
Jumped up for a head and he fucking headbutted me there. And I don't know how I ended up on the... I don't know how I got
He's
back
still
to
doing
the...
acting, him? He was acting in
But
America.
he's real.
There's an actor, aye. I don't know how I got back to the treatment room. But no, Rangers, I think they had to win regardless of the performance. Because Beale's obviously been under pressure. 3 points, but... I don't know. Good to see Tom Lawrence back, I suppose, middle of midfield. I think
the best of him when.
I think he'll improve. I think he'll improve the team.
Got that through ball in lockdown. Didn't he?
But I don't know, Andy.
Did you?
The reason I thought it was better is because I just thought there was a lot more control. I thought Rangers never really looked in any trouble. I still agree that in the final third, especially, I think they still need to get better. But I think they get themselves in so many good positions. I've said it so many times on here, but they're so wasteful in the final third at times, whether it's decision making or just that last wee bit of quality. But I thought their set-up behind the ball was much better. I thought any time St Johnstone couldn't put 2 or 3 passes together, but Rangers win the ball back.
Yep.
So I think when you're like that, if you're having an off day in the final third, you're not really going to be in much danger. I think was it Cammy McPherson has a header in the second half.
Davis with a wee short back pass.
But other than that, I just thought they were in a lot of control. And second half, I thought naturally got better because St John's had more of a goal. They obviously went 2 up front. But there was definitely a change in style at the weekend. I thought.
Was it the same formation, Andy?
Well, I think they played with a lot more width against St Johnstone than they have in any game I've seen. I think you've seen quite often
Tavernier and Yilmaz.
But you've seen like whether it was Lundstrom or Raskin, they would drop into a sort of back three. They would have the other 2 centre mids there, and then it was almost like a 4-1. So it was Lammers and Roof playing in that sort of 10, Yilmaz and Tav, whoever it may be. And I thought, especially down the right hand side with Tav and Lammers, the amount of times they played the wee slip passes, the underlap, the goal comes for that. But there was like 3 before the goal, whether it was Lammers sliding in Tav or Tav sliding in Lammers for the first sort of 10-15 minutes. So that tells me if you've done that 4 times the first 20 minutes, that's something you've worked on all week. So to then score the goal for that shows that. But to be fair, like I'm not saying it was brilliant because it wasn't brilliant, but I thought a lot more controlled, and I still think they're clicking in the final third away for being better.
I think they are similar situations to Aberdeen with the amount of players who signed. It's maybe just going to take a wee bit more time.
Potentially, aye. And again, that's I don't know how many games exactly. 11, 12 games Rangers have played, and not one starting 11's played more than 1 game. It's been 10 different starting 11s every game.
He's another one doing that, isn't he?
But again, for me, I said it last week after Celtic done it, that I don't understand why Danilo's not starting every game, because I see a proper striker there where he's movement off the ball,
it was a great
his
finish.
Composure in the box, but then Beale sort of references it, didn't he, that he came in later than the other boys, he was short of fitness, then you're hoping he gets a right run at it, then he does that after 2 minutes.
See like the goal, obviously Tav's got the ball.
Green Kerry's got to stop the cross.
For me it's too easy, the cross is too easy.
Graham was never good at that, wasn't he? He's all on the ball, Graham.
Good enough.
But if Rangers are going to start playing with, if they're going to have Danilo up front, if you're getting cross in that, and the way he attacked that ball and actually scored, that's an asset in my eyes. But are they going to do that regularly each week? But obviously they're not going to do it because
he's came from inside Tavernier, isn't he? He's like as if he's inverted and then went again.
Did you play against Lawrence in the Championship, Tom Lawrence? Good player, wasn't he?
Good player, aye. Really good
was he at Derby?
He was at Ipswich when I played against him.
What is his best position, Charlie?
I would say in behind either one of the 2 10s or a single 10 himself.
It's some pass for the second goal, because see me watch it, doesn't even look.
Lovely way,
he just knows he's there, he knows he's running, and to be fair, that is what Matondo can do.
Great finish by Matondo, by the way.
Matondo's brilliant.
He's done well this year, to be fair, in terms of, again though, it's a typical winger where every time he's came off the bench he's done great, but then a couple of times he started the game when it's a bit more compact in the first half, he's not had as much of an influence, but he's shown that he can contribute this year, which is good.
I think it's a confidence thing there. I think the more minutes he gets and the more opportunity like Saturday coming on and getting the goal. I think his confidence is building, and you might see the bit like more of him if the game's going, because there's definitely a footballer in there. That with that pace, it's incredible. And the European game, was it European game played through the week? He came a while back. He played kind of through the middle, and I thought he was very good that night. Some good feet and stuff. So there's definitely a fitter player in there.
What about you when Yilmaz starts and he's not in the European squad?
But how do you hear why those Forbes didn't do kids' suits?
He's so small, isn't he, man? I think he looks quite good that weekend.
He does look alright. I didn't see enough of it, but
Is that not really surprising though that he's not in the European
So what's the
squad?
thinking behind that then?
Mental.
You play him when you're starting 11 in a league match, but he's not in your European squad.
was he like defensively, Yilmaz?
I don't know.
Is he better going forward than he is defensively?
That
Did they
much
have to submit that
Um,
squad before he
I
started
wonder.
playing?
Well,
They must have done it.
I submitted that last week, so then
I think he's been decent, but Rangers paid, what, 3 million, 4 million? You want him to be better than decent now. And I think at times, I thought at the end of last season, when he got a run in the team, which is probably the first real time he's had a proper run, he did quite well, but I wouldn't say he's been outstanding. I still think that left back jersey between him and Barisic is up for grabs. I think at any given time, Barisic is sure they can go on a run, and then
Sterling did alright, didn't he? In the
I thought he did as well, but you could see
on the ball, doesn't give much.
Defensively, he's an out and out defender.
his first name, John Sterling.
Aye.
I picked him up last week.
I played
you,
with
mate?
him. I played with him at Wigan.
Did you? Right, well, here, what was you like?
He was good player, good defender, really good defender.
You can see that.
He's no the most pleasing on the eye, if that makes sense. He's no smooth, but he's effective. He's good, but his defensive qualities are really good. 1v1 defending, and when I was at Wigan, Reece James was played ahead of Reece James in the Chelsea reserves, and Reece James, then Wigan took Reece James on. First of all, he came into Blackburn, Reece James, and Tony Mowbray told him that Ryan Niambi's our right back, so he'll need to fight for his place.
Anthony.
So then he went. To.
We used to do it all the time.
So then he went to Wigan.
Didn't he?
Oh, I loved it when Mowbray done that.
The double barrel.
Somebody missed a chance. Sorry, mate.
It was really bad. It was 2, wasn't it?
Was it? What did he do?
It was all double one.
Aye, it was aye. But then, see if he did something good after it, go. When he spin it in his pocket.
You know, he used to FaceTime Tony Mowbray when he was steaming.
Not ever.
He was one of the only ones that would answer, wasn't he?
Aye, brilliant.
But maybe that's why Yilmaz is in the Euro squad. Maybe because Sterling is
Defensively,
better
that's why I was
defensively. He might play the
asking,
European one.
that's
Well,
why I was
he
asking.
then went to Wigan and signed. It was unreal for Wigan Player of the Year. Remember that year, Reece James? That's when Cal and that played with him. And then the next year, he obviously goes back to Chelsea, and Wigan Paul Cook takes Dijon Sterling on loan, who was decent, but he was nowhere near Reece James.
Is he a right back again, Charlie?
He's a right back naturally, aye.
Right.
It took a while to get in the team.
I think he did play left back for Stoke though last year at times.
Did he, right?
Aye, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him start that game, to be honest.
Betis on Thursday. Spanish correspondent over there.
5-0.
Who best?
Pumped
Aye,
at
Barca
5-0
beat
with
Do you ever
Barca.
remember Italian football on Channel 4 on a
Vivaldi?
Saturday morning?
Vivaldi's one?
Do you know how James Richardson got that gig? It was maybe Gaza.
Was it?
Maybe
What,
Gaza.
Gaza hosting it?
It was maybe Gaza hosting that.
The tiger, isn't he?
And what?
Was that the man with the tiger? He's walking down the street.
Who?
Gaza?
Was he? I don't know, but it was maybe Gaza hosting it, and they kept just obviously not turning up and all that. And so they got him to do it, but he knew nothing about football. So remember he used to tell you about the cities and all that?
That's
because
right.
he knew nothing about football.
He was good at it, I know.
It was really
That's
good.
good.
Wasn't he?
But he used to sit with a wee coffee,
Like he
didn't he?
said, sport, didn't he?
Aye.
That
was all the highlights you got. Remember the wee tune and all that?
I might do that for
Story?
Spanish football.
What?
I might do that for Spanish football.
Do you know who was a disgrace on Spanish football? Guillaume Balaguer.
What's he done?
No, when he was on it, couldn't stand it.
Still on it.
Jerry Armstrong commentator, rubbish man.
No, I like Jerry Armstrong.
Oh,
just because he loved Messi, but he loved Messi, didn't he?
And Real Mallorca, that's who played with, wasn't it? Jerry Armstrong.
So
Do you know
was.
what story I seen the other day for the first time ever? He heard the Gaza story with Les Ferdinand and his cock, holding his cock
It's
for a
brilliant,
game.
mate.
How good's that?
Amazing.
You seen that?
No.
Was it before the FA Cup semi-final?
Because I think it was a big
He said
game.
that, like, Les Ferdinand's getting changing his cock was there, and he said it was a big chopper, and guys, that's unbelievable, can I have a hold of that? So Les Ferdinand's like, aye, so he held it. And then Gaza scored the winner in the semi, so he says, every game I need to hold your cock before the game. She says like after 2-3 weeks, like Ferdinand just before the game, just stood at the door of the dressing room. How he's going. It's incredible, man. Actual bet is 5-0 at the weekend, but they're doing all right on mid-table.
No, they are doing well, but they could have been up 2-0 v Barca.
Pellegrini, innit?
But the reason they get beaten is because they could have been up 2-0. They were so attacking. It was actually brilliant to watch. Dead refreshing to watch two teams going for it. Obviously they go down 2-0 and then they kind of lose their way a wee bit, but they are a good team.
Can Rangers get a result, Paul?
Aye.
They can,
Aye, they will be very open betters, but I don't know. Rangers haven't convinced me at all this year. Still don't, so I don't. But
maybe that might just give Rangers a spark. Maybe a few European games that might just get them. But I think it'll be very tough.
who goes up front? Because they put the big boy Seema up, didn't they?
He done alright when he came on. That again, I'm only going on highlights. Seema, did he not do quite well?
Aye, he did.
Roof would play. I'd play Roof up front.
I'd put Roof up front.
Aye, aye, for me. Seema's, for what I've seen, he's never been a striker in his life.
Nah, what is he?
He's not a back to goal player, is he?
Nah.
He's more like what should be directing if somebody's in front, dive into the space. Whereas I think in terms of, I don't think he uses his body like a striker. Whereas Dessers, to be fair, Dessers came under a lot of criticism, but he still impacted games. You know what I mean? But for me, it would be Roof.
Roof done well in the Europa League.
Yeah.
That's probably Roof's
Roof
first
done well
time
in the
he's played
Europa
2
League run,
consecutive
so
games for about 18
I
months.
think he'll be alright up front.
You think he'll play up front?
Aye, I think he will. I don't think
What, two?
No, he'll not play two, will he? Has he played two now?
I think they play 4-5-1.
Yeah. Right, on to the Champions League, which means Champions League's back. Susan's knickers are out again.
Well, he'll be out.
Oh, aye.
Somebody for UEFA's come to collect them.
Aye, who was it? Who
Yeah,
was
you know
it
the
again?
thing they do with the flat?
Aye.
Says man's knickers that he is.
Who was that again? It's
Is that why you're dressed in UEFA gear? Are you taking
I've
it?
been there to get them, aye. Get the old ones back. They held him
Who is it
last
for
year.
UEFA that comes over and gets them off
Blatter.
there? Who?
Sepp Blatter, no, he was in FIFA, but wee Blatter comes out to get them. Wee Blatter. He is good. What was, did you see, just before we go into the Champions League, obviously, did you see the penalty Celtic got?
Aye.
Somewhat the Rangers foul, was it?
What did you think?
Same thing,
I
foul.
think it is a penalty, aye.
I think it's
But
a penalty.
Do you?
like I said about the Dessers situation, if Dessers goes down, does that mean Dessers gets a foul? I think it's just the same as Turnbull goes down. But I think it is a penalty. I think if you're a defender and you're that rash to win the ball and you don't win it,
You don't win it,
then
aye.
But do you think Turnbull kind of sees him coming in and just puts his forward?
see for me, mate, that's clever play.
Good football,
That's what.
That's not his fault that he's attempting to get the ball.
I think it's a penalty.
What,
aye.
do you say no penalty?
I was just for my first time I seen it, I thought, I think the guy's going to get the ball, and I think Turnbull's almost, in a way you could look, he obstructed him.
So you're saying Turnbull dived?
No, I
You
dived
have a
at all.
Fred on Kerrydale Street tonight?
No, not at all. I've actually been getting on. Me and the Bill been getting on really well.
What's happened to the letter of law? There was a lot of letter of law statements.
Would you say it was the exact same as the Rangers one?
Very, very similar. Aye.
Is that no shocking then?
Nah, I think from that, like Andy's point of view is that, and Charlie said it as well there, if you're lunging at somebody on the edge of your box and you don't win the ball.
Why is the boy like?
Aye, why is
Why is he
lunging?
that like
Horny,
aggressive?
like,
He must have
win the
thought he was
ball,
getting
aye.
it. So he must have thought I'm there. But
Aye. He must have thought he was getting it.
I think you could argue it's soft, but I think it's a
fouls
penalty.
to Celtic, so it's the same situation.
Aye.
What do you mean it's different?
Aye,
It's
dunno.
not different, it's the exact same.
Exact same, aye. So they're consistent.
Aye.
And then,
had it been a penalty, then it would have been an
Celtic got a
argument.
foul
No,
because...
but that's what I'm saying. If Dessers goes down, then that's a Turnbull
No,
situation.
but I'm saying the Dundee player kicks the Celtic player and Celtic get a foul, Dessers kicks...
No, Lagerbielke kicks Dessers.
So it was a different
So what you saying now?
situation,
But if
Hank
Dessers
Moody-
had went down, he would have got a free kick. 100%.
Think so, huh?
You look like
100%.
Hank for me, myself, and Irene today.
Aye, George, didn't he?
Oh, the USEC shout. The
Many guys on the
USEC
back.
shout.
My ass is taking a pounding over the years. That film was unreal,
I've never seen it.
Oh mate, you would love
Never.
that film, man.
I don't really like crime comedies.
Me, myself and Irene.
I like
That's a good film.
haunted, I like horrors.
Them was what was a film last night.
You like horrors?
She was agree last night.
50, she was watching. What, herself?
She says,
Where are her hands?
She just went, you come in to watch this film with me, and then I was like, fucking hell, man. I can't watch this shit.
Wait, what about him watching horrors?
Loves horrors.
You sit in the house and watch horrors?
He's a creep, isn't he?
I love
He's
horrors.
a creepy bastard.
I've seen myself watching 4 horrors straight in a row.
No, you've been with 4 horrors straight in a row, you know?
Different horror for each film.
What's your favourite horror?
I'm going to
He
say
touched
something there.
shite.
No, I do. Conjuring too.
What's that?
Conjuring.
Which one, like?
Conjuring. Conjuring.
I know. I've seen myself. Way horrors and watching horrors. You're spot on, you're banging the money there, aye.
I couldn't watch a horror.
You look at the wee guy Saw. See when he puts the mask on and Saw.
I do look like a wee horror man, don't I? Do you think like we're saying horror here, do you think if a bird would wet with me, they'd be like, you've just been a horror, do you think that? Please? Like,
Went to the pubs and just found a horror.
Go and get that wee horror's number.
Went to the cinema last night with a horror. No, to watch a horror.
Oh man.
So what did she do after she watched that film? Just got up to bed?
No, I was saying I'm up the stairs to get a shower, and
Did you come in the shower with you?
no, I was just I was just waiting, but I fell asleep.
In the shower? You fell asleep in the shower?
Fell asleep in the shower.
Fucking soaking.
Jumped into bed, and
Or incline in the morning.
Incredible. Hatati or Turnbull?
Hatati all day. Hatati was brilliant on Saturday. Hatati all day.
Attack for me, aye.
I tell you, I think he makes the team better.
You've done the analysis. Is there any chance Celtic got a chance flying on Tuesday?
Aye, because they are open. But I think we made a Kyogo and Hatati. I think you can be a right danger for anybody. I think Kyogo's...
That goal's brilliant.
How do you think they'll play?
I know, do you think he'll change and go a wee bit more defensive? Did he with Leicester away from home and he
Aye,
was
he did.
But
But they don't do that with Celtic last time round.
No, he was dead.
No, he was dead.
That was his
I think he'll change definitely.
Definitely.
Well, we got
I
negative.
noticed differences when he was at Leicester.
Right, what are the differences?
Just back into shape, conceding possession, being comfortable to not have the ball against Man City.
But would they press it first? Or would they just sort of drop in right away?
Well, they would press it maybe in the final third, and then if they would get back, they wouldn't be comfortable to get back into a shape.
And I think I'm 3-5-2, was it? No?
Was it with Leicester? I
I think
don't
he
know.
might have went Vardy and Nacho up. Might have.
Oh, you could be right, actually.
What I'm really interested in seeing is if they play it for the back under Feyenoord's high pressure, because when they try to play it against Rangers,
They will.
I thought Rangers could have nicked the ball from so many times. I've
I
seen it
think
at Bilbao start of the season, could have
Aye.
nicked the ball from so many times.
I think if you're playing Atati and McGregor, I think because
They're going to play it. The
I think
scale,
I
won't
just feel Hatati
Mate.
is so much better at getting out. I just think
because he can take it under
tell you
pressure.
what, I only
and
watched
Like, so his
somebody
body
again.
movements, he goes one way to go the other way. Whereas sometimes with Tumble, I don't think there's enough. What's the word I'm looking for? Like explosion, like the dynamic side of him. Whereas Atati's got that, he'll go one way, go the other, take it in really tight spaces.
I only watched the highlights, but Liam Skill's distribution looked very good at the weekend.
The wee boy plays all that.
I worry about Celtic's defence massively though. I really do.
What will it be, Phillips and Scales, right?
How was
Phillips went
Phillips?
half, didn't he?
Half time.
I think they were just-
I think it was always
he
planned
did
to
say
play
though, aye.
45, wasn't it?
How was
No,
he
I think he
the
said he was
first half?
supposed to play
Anybody see?
60, but he had like a wee knock, but it'll be fine.
I think he could be a good addition to Celtic this season.
Just
probably.
how quick they are attacking, it could be, but you never know.
Dundee had a couple of chances to fail, didn't he?
Aye,
Celtic
Joe Hart
were-
made some
were
save, didn't he?
comfortable, but
Joe Hart made an unbelievable save at one point.
aye, McCowan should score that though.
I honestly think I think he'll go, and I'm going to go and say it. I think he could play with any team in the world.
How good is his
I
movement?
would go against that.
And it's hard to
goal.
say because you know, obviously, but see when I watch him, see even v Rangers, see all the chances they create, it's through his movement. Obviously the players are playing the passes, but it's his movement. On that last line on the shoulder, his movement's just out of this world. Again, like his goal and the assist.
The third goal's brilliant, his movement down the side of something. It's the right back, actually the right back he runs down the side, isn't it?
I honestly think he's just, I'm so surprised Ange didn't just say his players go and get him, but I don't know. But yeah, I think he could play with anybody. He's
The
that
thing is,
good.
you can say there like he's a natural like goal scorer, which he is, and you need to give him chances. Will he get enough chances in Spurs? But he doesn't need a lot of chances. That's what he's shown. He's shown that he can play a game like he did against Rangers, only have that one opportunity and take it. But the header,
Oh, it's a
great ball,
Aye.
great ball, and that's one of them you're hiding behind the centre half, and you're just looking for eye contact with your centre midfielder. You don't have to shout or wave your hands. You just look, you know, and you make that run.
See for me though, Kev, but you're right. It's an unbelievable ball, but the run makes the ball.
Listen.
How many strikers do you
Want to
see in
come
these
to feet,
scenarios like that where they just
that.
want to come to feet, they want to get a touch of the ball, but he's
that's-
always looking in
that's
behind on the
clever
last line.
from the ball in to put it where he's put it, because some people would just maybe just go with the diag, try and put it over the shoulder, but to understand that my striker I think is going to run round here.
I think that's a take a goal as well. I think as a team you always analyse goals you concede.
Aye.
Sometimes that's a goal for me where you think, tell you what, like
Brilliant.
maybe more pressure on the ball I'd say, but in terms of
possibly.
Kyogo's movement, how explosive it is, like I don't know. Can Shaughnessy do much with that? I don't think so.
No. I wanted to ask you this because obviously you played with Celtic Champions League. You're used to playing every week, attack. See when you go like a Champions League game away, what have you got, like 3 days to work on it for the Saturday, the Tuesday? Was that difficult? Because you seem to be quite good at it. When you played?
Well, the year we got to the last 16, and we had good away performances and that, there wasn't a lot of tactics that went into it. When I say a lot compared to these days, I mean, there would be just constant messages and game plans and everything. Back then it was more get your good players in the park and with a short turnaround, just kind of maybe have a couple of set pieces up your sleeve and then basically let's go. And when we went to different places, naturally we would just end up getting forced into a shape. Like say Barcelona would just force you into a shape. They were doing things that...
See, what was your see that time up with the last 16?
Well,
what was your formation when you
League.
were playing Saturdays in the league? What would you play?
So different. Sometimes it'd be like a 4 with like a diamond in there because we'd like strength in midfield. It'd be different sometimes.
But then when you went to go away from home in Europe, would it always be like the formation is 4-5-1?
Basically, but probably when he set up as a 4-5-1, it'd probably look like a 4-4-1-1.
Right.
But it would be a 4-5-1. But like I said, Barcelona just forced you back in, and because we had players that knew to nullify the space. If you're no set up to press and you're no up there pressing, it's hard to kind of wing that and all do that as a one unless it's been actually
worked on
and drilled. So our go-to was always to nullify the space. We would deny them the space in the final third.
And would it be force it wide or would it not even that?
Naturally, it was just that's what happened. But it wouldn't be the message coming from the side. It would be naturally we had good players in there, and that's what would happen. And we would try and I played left wing, so I was always there to stop it inside, make it go wide, and double up with the left back, and then I would force it round the back, and we would go goal kicks. It would just kick it to me, to flick it on, or.
The game is so much more tactical.
So see on that, Charlie, that you said there that you worked on like the odd wee free kick scenario or a corner scenario. Just like you said, you winged it. Was that what he's got hope for? That if he's got that one opportunity, could be set up a free kick?
Well, we almost conceded the fact that we wouldn't have a lot of the ball.
Yep.
And we knew that, like for example, that corner against Barcelona was hang it over Jordi Alba's head, and Wanyama will just come through and smash him over the top and score the header. And we knew that if we hung that ball up there, that's a goal, because Barca weren't good at corners. I don't know how we got a corner to this day because we were getting cheered for throw-ins and that, so I would like to see back how we actually got that corner. But I remember thinking, yes, we've got a chance to maybe have an attempted goal, because we knew they were bad, and I just was like, don't let the keeper come and get this, and if I hang it up, we'll
so you put it in?
I put it in above him, and we knew that, and I knew as soon as I hit it and it was there, I was like, oh, that's a goal, because Alba's not beating Wanyama in there, and Wanyama knows he's giving me aggression going, I've got a chance to score in the Champions League here. It's going to be a goal.
Was there ever a feeling that this is your kind of only opportunity? I can't fuck this cross up. Were you think that when you got hit in that? Is that knowing your? That's what.
Obviously, not too much, but I know the feelings. I've had that before. And 9 times out of 10, when that overtakes you, you put it in the keeper's hand, don't you, or you kick it out of play. But obviously that night, whatever was in my mind, with everything gone, I was quite a positive. It was a positive thought. It must have been if it away.
Mate, I think taking a corner is the most nerve-wracking you'll do in 90 minutes. I swear to God. I think the rest of the game just takes care of itself. But see an actual corner, I used to fucking hate taking corners.
I used to pray that I was like, go kick, it's not fucking corner. Honestly, mate. See one doing swing and then the ball went in for a corner, mate. I'd be like, fuck off, man.
Aye. And you used to always tell yourself, I know,
staring at you, man.
just beat the first man.
Put it.
So you would put in the floatiest cross.
Keeper goes for a counter-attack. You've got a 70-yard dash back. Morgan used to just tell me to shoot for corners. Morgan just told me to shoot for corners. It was brilliant. Tony Mowbray, aye.
So just like whip it.
She put Danny Graham to pin the keeper, just stood there. And I just had to shoot. So it was like a simplified idea where I was like, I just need to shoot, don't need to think about anything else.
Brilliant.
And it took a lot of pressure off. I've had that in games before, when you hit the first one bad, second one bad, then maybe you're needing a goal in the last 10. It's like, you're taking the corner, you're like, oh no.
Because you
just don't let it go in the keeper's hand.
You've been the other one, I know, where you're in the box, somebody's taking a corner and seeing the shit corner, you're like, fucking hell.
Aye.
Put it in the box.
Did you hit corners?
I was good at corners until that one I told you about the one way.
Lenny made you bring it in. That's brilliant, that.
Imagine that, mate. Imagine being a player and that's happened to you when you're training with the first team.
Bring it in a bit.
I was like that with Hearts with penalties. Like, even though I scored that first penalty, I scored that penalty by default. Callum Eric says to me, "Here, you take the penalty, big man, and get your Hearts career off and running." I was like, do I really need to take this penalty? So I walked up and just hit it as fucking hard as I could. And we got like 8 or 9 penalties after that, and I was like keeping on the penalties, and I'm like, I don't really want to take these.
I still always feel
alright. I just kept fucking winning it, and I was thought, how do you feel the corner?
Something there, but I was alright.
I took a corner once, right? We guys, it wasn't me.
There's no way you've taken a corner.
I took a corner once, tried to do a quick one. I nearly booted the fucking corner flag. My feet were too big for that wee
I
D
put
bit.
the corner flag. Swear to God, in a live game that he would. Put the ball down, ran back, swung it, kicked the corner flag down the ball. The ball went in that height, right to the front post. Front man cleared it. My ankle went out like that. It was mortifying.
We played
Swear to God.
youth team of reserve for Sun, a wee guy called Brendan McGill. And he was told to take the corner and he fucking hit the corner flag right in the suit for fucking 6 weeks with a broken toe.
What, he's gone with hitting the corner
The
flag?
corner flag
Mine
came in.
must be going to fly over the far stand because I still got it in the box that height. After volleying this flag first.
Have you ever went to play a pass in a game and it's
aye.
hit your weak foot before you've hit it, your actual foot?
Oh, that's
That's the worst.
embarrassing.
That's the worst. I've done that at Ibrox against Morton. They scored for it and all.
Mine, that video you sent me, sorry, when
I remember like, oh my
playing for
God.
Hearts v Falkirk and the ref gave a free kick and the ball was just bouncing. I went to boot it away in anger and I missed it and I fell on my arse.
Did I send you that?
You sent me that. I fucking went to boot it, man. My big leg went way up there.
Is he couch all day? The
Brilliant, mate, innit?
Because he's so big, man. He was everywhere, wasn't he?
You hitting corners 6'3", man?
Aye.
Just because of that lefty.
Wand.
I got you moved to Celtic, wasn't it? Remember your set pieces against Celtic that year for Aberdeen
That's
on loan?
right, aye.
Because I was in the squad and
Were they unreal?
all they spoke about was his delivery for that year. You were on fire with Aberdeen, weren't you?
Aye. I think I had something like maced assists or something. And I had a lot of free kicks, aye.
I used to sit and play Aberdeen, and when he played with Aberdeen, when I played with Kamal, I think it was, you used to get the free kicks on the halfway line, and you used to ping the diagonal. I used to sit there and watch them and think, fucking hell, these boys are class.
Mate, see last season though, with Hearts, I was always, always, got to about halfway through the season, we were, like I said, we weren't the great set pieces. And I was like, Jig, put me in the box, man, because I'm not great there, but I'll attack the ball. And I might not be great, but see, I ended up scoring 2 in 2 weeks. And honestly, mate, it was because see, when you were in the box, you knew Snoddy's crosses were right on the money every time. Snoddy's corners
Who's
would be
marking
8 to
Susan
6.
Boyle? Somebody get Susan.
But his delivery every time,
Aye, it's
I'm under the 6-yard box
Yeah.
every single time.
Be pace, just needs a flick.
Aye,
doesn't it?
but
Brilliant.
Sir Alex Ferguson said about Charlie Adam, didn't he? Remember when he was at
20 million or something.
Blackpool? His corners are worth 10 million alone.
His teeth are worth scratchy. His teeth are scratchy.
Imagine he said that in an interview.
Teeth like a witch
Who's your
doctor's
manager at
necklace.
Aberdeen?
Jimmy Calderwood and then Mark
was it?
McGee.
And then Mark McGee, that's right.
Jimmy Calderwood.
Supposed to be funny, Jimmy Calderwood, no?
Oh, great guy, man.
Great guy.
Really good guy, isn't he?
He's one of the best, I think, like, in terms of humour and personality.
Brilliant.
Was he, aye?
Aye,
He
really
used to
good.
come in on Monday, right? This was again before like tactics and that were a thing, right?
First tactics
or
are
even-
a thing that's mad to sell it.
Aye, but am I right there? Am I just
I know,
getting
100%,
you're definitely
It was never ever mentioned.
No.
He used to come in on Monday, he'd swing the wee watch, he'd be all tanned up, wee Jimmy, he'd be like that. Just pick somebody who'd all sit. When he came in, it was like, all right, sit down. Come in and go like, Charlie, game, and you had to give your layout of the game, how you saw the game. But back then, you were like in your early 20s, you were like, don't know, I've not given the game a second thought since Saturday. I thought we were, all you would do was just say
The generic
the
stuff.
generic. I thought we were all right first. You'd repeat what he'd said at half time and what he'd said at full time. Basically, just try to get it right.
I don't think we won enough second balls in the
Second
first
balls,
half.
and we could be more aggressive. And, but if you
Would
won,
you question you back or would you just let you roll on?
they just go like, whoever, Kelso game, he'd move on and it'd be his turn. He'd pick 3. So on Monday morning, he'd be like, oh, please don't be me the day.
Was it just everyone saying the exact same thing?
If they just scheme their rundown of the game, they'd go, aye, I think you're right, good points here. Then he would say his point, no video, nothing. Think about it back then. Nothing. That would be it. We'd go and train.
I think it was just formation back in the day, wasn't it?
Aye, what's just
On a
information?
Thursday, we would
Playing
do possession.
4-4-2.
Aye.
On a Thursday, we knew the team, we would do possession, big possession, so you knew the team, and then we would, wait, he didn't tell you that was the team. He said, I don't read into any of this, but if they were
always
the team,
the same,
if they were
aye.
smashing into people and all that because they weren't in the team, they knew on a Thursday. Then you play 11 v 11, obviously that was the team. And then he used to take you away games and he would, the room list, who you were in a room with, would
You'd be paired up with somebody you're playing with.
position, so it'd be like 2 centre halves and that together. Me and Gary McDonald's were in a room. First game against Celtic away in September. I was buzzing. First time to go back to Celtic Park. I'm like, yes. Me and Gary, I must be playing like midfield or something. Couldn't sleep all night, tossing and turning. And yeah, we played left back all year. We further up the park, Celtic Park, not up in the morning, 2 is on the bench. Absolutely sick, man. I came on after half an hour, the left wing.
You alright?
Ended up scoring 2.
Did you?
I scored 2 the first game. We beat 3-2. They scored in the last minute, but I come on left wing, scored 2.
Did you?
Wow.
Aye, first ever game
Left
back.
wing?
Aye, left wing.
Who's your favourite roommate? You done it, Aidan done you a belter, didn't he? Early days. Tell me the other day.
Oh, aye. The old Blue Planet one. I've been told that, no?
No.
So that trip we spoke about when
Poland.
we went to Poland, I mean Ross Wallace got left out the kind of squad to go to America. Just before that game, we're flying to another bit of Poland. So we got up in the morning, you know what it's like as a young boy, right? Aidan's a wee bit established, he's been in there a year or two now. And I'm in the room with him. So up for breakfast and all that, and I'm getting my gear all ready and all that. I'm like, right, when we doing that? He's like, would you calm down, stop being so busy?
So worst shit ever when you're
And I'm like,
stop being so
I'm
busy.
being too hangry here. So sat back down the bed, he's like sitting with Blue Planet, and he's like, is that what Blue Planet's do? Sat down with Blue Planet, next minute the phone rings, where are you used to? We're all sitting on the bus. I'm like, you fucking, I'm going mad. I'm like, he's like, oh, we're all scampering about getting ready. Down onto the bus, but he's obviously an established first team player, doing alright. I'm just hanging on with my fucking fingertips. Get fined like
Was that not the game then with them playing? You and Wallace.
so we flew to the game and he says, I want the money, the fine money. It was like something like £400 or something they fined us. I want the money before we get off this flight. And I'm like, well, it's not a cash machine, the flight. But to be fair, Alan Thompson at the time bailed us out and he sell pipe fee so it doesn't double. And then it was the next game, me and him get hooked after 30.
Remember that him and Wallace 30 minutes, their two numbers got up, and then they didn't come in at half time. They sit out on the bench. We didn't even think anything at me, and then Strike notices and he went off. He
went, where's Charlie? And Wallace said, he was gone mad at the aim, and then went, where's Charlie and Roscoe? And somebody went, I don't know, they're still outside. And Wallace said that no other boys were buzzing because that was the heat right after the game, and us two were getting it. Full time, we go in at full time, sit down. And he's like, used to, and we're like, oh no, what have we done? That genuinely not even clicked. Just went through us, man. See now, like, they talk about the way you speak to players and all that, man. That was back then, you just get...
terrible. He went on a rant after it to everyone got it then after you and Wallace. I remember it.
Absolutely.
Did he ever bring it up again when you were Scotland or it now? Ever mentioned it when you were a young boy now?
No, back with Scotland, he was brilliant. He was brilliant with me, but that never get mentioned again. But see that, I left there and then I went to Wolves and I was playing with Dave Edwards, a teammate I had at Wolves at the time, and playing golf with him the other day, and I was talking about this. He remembers Mick McCarthy was in my manager. So I had Mick McCarthy, you know what he's like, Kev? And I went for two of the, honestly, old school kind of, this is what it takes to be a professional.
Yeah.
And they were the two probably best guys for my career when I look back now, in terms of making you know, making you into a man, making you know what it takes to be an actual player, where you thought you'd actually been able to, you thought you'd come through at Celtic, you thought, oh, we're alright here, we're doing alright, but they were near it.
Aye.
What's the biggest, like, terrorising you for that for manager?
Mine just definitely did. We brought out the full team in at 6 in the morning because of me.
That's nuts.
His full team taught half time, full time is about me.
To the Canio?
That is mad.
Brentford, mate, because of corners. I fucked up 2 corners in the first half, mate, and came in at half. See, because I'd fucked the corners up, I knew that he was going to be raging, mate, and then I had a fucking shocker after it, and he's like, lads, if we could went top league that night, he went, lads, if we lose this game because of him and these 2 corners, we'll be in tomorrow at 6. He hooked us 10 minutes later, mate. After the game, there in my face, mate, because he made us captain that night first time, and he went fucking mental at us, mate. You could actual spit hitting off your face, mate. And then we were in 6 in the morning. I think he just showed my clips for the game. That was it.
Again, though, like, see, back in the day, like that would happen more often than not.
Aye.
And that again, I don't remember for a while.
Sorry, mate. I think we went out to train that day. It was like 7:30 in the morning, mate. It was still fucking dark, and he reenacted my 2 corners, and he pretended to take it, and then he'd like fall in the ball, man. You're like, obviously, I never fucking done that. But that was a proper embarrassment, mate.
Do you think there's a place for that,
Aye. I still do.
I
I turned up for pre-season as a young kid, slowly moving into the reserves, a day late, got the dates wrong for when coming back. And when I rocked up to the training ground, Quinn just walked up and went, Peter, he's wanting to see you in the office. And at that point, I just thought, I better just get in the motor.
And go back up the road,
I went into the office, chapped the door, Gaffy went to see me, aye well, and he went through me. And I was maybe 19. And I thought, that was the day I actually woke up and thought, I need to start doing things right, because although it was a genuine error, I don't think like, he nearly just kicked me out that day.
It's missing now. I don't think you could speak to a young boy like that now.
Mate,
Go to HR and all that.
Mine was when I was 16. and Gary Boland was the manager of Liv at the time, and it was at a period where like a few clubs were watching me and that, and I was just doing alright really. And first half, it was one of the games where we were losing 1-0, but I was like, I've done alright there. And he absolutely terrorised me at half time. But I know he done that because he was like, this wee idiot probably thinks there's a few clubs watching him, he's made it now, he's a fit-up player, blah, blah, blah. So I know he done it for that reason. And I look back at things like that now and think, do you know what? Similar to what you're saying, that's probably the best thing that could happen to me at that time. So probably did think, I've made it now, I'm a fit-up player, I played a couple of games.
I definitely believe there's a place for it. I think if anything, even in this modern world, and although it's different, it defines you as a character. Like, are you going to sit there and listen to it and accept what he's saying to you and come back better? Or are you going to be that guy that fucking takes it and just feels sorry for yourself and thought, he's been a bit harsh? There's a place for it, absolutely.
It's been told what's right and what's wrong. What's right? What's right? Everybody just wants to be told when they're good. How about getting a bit up the arse now and again and being told you're shite? Because that's what it takes. It's common sense.
Were you there when I pretended to fall asleep while he says team talk? While I was doing a team talk, I was a fucking wee arsehole, mate. While I was doing a team talk, I went like that.
Oh my God.
And Willie told Tommy Burns, mate, honestly fucking dragged me into his wee room again. 17. I think it was close. I think it was my bottom lip was fucking like that. But I think what the fuck
I spoke to Aiden's dad yesterday, Simon. I spoke to Aiden's dad yesterday. He was talking very highly. He says, that's Simon. He says, I watch your show all the time, love it. He says, but Simon was some player when he was a young boy.
He says that,
He was unreal.
He says Simon was unbelievable. I said, he does talk about he should have done things a bit better. I says, but he says, oh no, he was how he didn't.
When Strachan first came in as gaffer, you were standing out of my own training. I remember it. I remember thinking, how's he so confident, like for a young boy training with the first team and all that? I remember it.
See, you're saying that though. See when you were younger.
Let's stop talking. We get the tissues.
See when you were younger though. See when if somebody does shout you at a manager, that I would greet all the time.
Who'd you greet?
See when I was a wee guy, mate. You know you were saying the story about Conroy greeting. That was me.
Was it?
I swear to God, if a coach or a manager shouted at me, I'd be that. But I used to be a pure angry wee guy.
Oh, angry.
So I used to get pure angry to the point I would just like start welling up. And Gary Bowen, mate, 16-year-old shouting me at the dressing room. I'm like, I can't start greeting in front of the first team here. And I remember pure fighting tears because I was so angry.
Leachy done it to me at a reserve game. Said, I'll fuck you at the club, and I was greeting all the way home in the bus.
What, in front of the boys?
And all the boys were ringing me, saying you're alright and all that. You'll know fuck you at the club.
I was like angry greeting. No, you should be angry all the time.
I got sent off just before Christmas. I got a 3-game ban. Came back, my first game back after a 3-game ban, get sent off after 20 minutes. And I come in, man, I was fucking bawling my eyes out. I couldn't even, because I was getting stick for fans. And the manager was believing in me, and I felt I'd let everybody down, and I just could not fucking control myself. And I said, I just need to get out of here, I need to go. And I just fucking jumped in the water and drove home and didn't come back with it.
The worst is when you hear somebody saying, is he greeting, innit?
Aye.
So you try hard and you go, is he greeting?
Is he greeting? You can hear him saying that.
You just feel like, oh, that's bad.
I've had a few kids cry recently at training and stuff, and after games, and I feel fucking...
That's why I had to stop doing the kids, mate. See, I was like, if somebody fucking greets one more time, I'm going to go off, man.
That's it.
See when you see the young boys that don't, like, if they make a couple of mistakes in training, they just berate themselves.
Oh, aye.
That was me, like so hard on that. Like I used to just shout at myself.
It's a good thing. It's good. It shows you care. I think it shows you care. Ultimately, crying can be a good thing because it shows that you care.
Remember Willie was going mad at us, man. I think we never got beat or something. He was going mad and we Paul McGowan. So we were a fucking wee arsehole. Usually all moved up to the reserves before us. I think we were all raging that we hadn't been. So I'd done that. And then Willie's going mad and Gills goes like that. I still remember it to this day. I'm watching him and Gills goes, that fucking guy's a great Willie.
If a young player did that, we're talking about how like different it was back then, but if a young player did do that now, they'd be out of club.
John Robertson had a meeting with us. It's like, I've never heard a bunch of young boys swear and shout the way you shout. Mate, we were shouting ourselves. Remember John Robertson?
Aye.
Right, he's in that fucking dressing room, man. Wow. Honestly, we were scoundrels, mate. I actually feel sorry for what I loved. We loved Willie as well, mate.
Legend,
hero, mate. And you think, why the fuck did I act like that?
We were the youth team. We used to carry on at the hostel because we were on a hostel, and we used to fuck about the weekends, go and fucking do this, do that, cause fucking riots. And then we played an FA Youth Cup game on Tuesday night at City Ground Forest. We got beat. Peter Reid came down, come in, I fucking came in to watch you, you're fucking shite. I've been hearing about this. You're doing this on a fucking Saturday night, you're doing this on a Sunday morning. Well, I'll tell you what you're fucking doing tomorrow morning. You get to that fucking Stadium of Light and you're fucking cleaning every stairwell. And then we spent fucking 3 days cleaning the Stadium of Light stairs, and I thought, fucking hell, man, I can't be fucked with this. I thought, I'm getting up football, this is not for me.
Did you ever go to college on a Wednesday?
Aye. See what you done at the college.
We dogged it for me and
College
Gills
was a
have dogged it 3
fucking
months.
joke, wasn't it?
College in Selly Park, wasn't it?
No, we had to go to Coatbridge College. Every Wednesday we'd walk up to the stairs and we girls would stand, get up to the stairs thinking he's going to go and go, fuck you, Coatbridge College. Scream at me. Girls was like, me and him would get a train into Glasgow food, and then that was it. Well, MX days like that used to. Tommy and John Cushley want to see you up at Celtic Park. Remember, John Cushley's scary bastard, mate. So I was genuinely, see, like you said, mate, I could have burst into tears, genuinely shanked myself, but wee girls, wee girls. Remember at Celtic Park, you came and met us at the reception of Celtic Park. You need to walk up the stairs through the gym. John Cushley's walking up the stairs. I'm shanked myself. Gousers went that behind him, starts doing that behind his back. Every step up the gym. Up the gym. He couldn't remember how what a boy he was,
man. Absolute maniac.
The courses were a waste of time.
We used to get the answers. We used to date Celtic Park on a Wednesday. And the teachers were going to go, what are you writing there? And they go like that, and just give you the answers. Just write down the answer.
We had to go to Middlesbrough College. Then if you had to fucking go to Middlesbrough College on a Wednesday and we get the bus down, and then it was just a fucking riot. You're just chasing the birds. Mate. You're just chasing the birds, absolutely ripping the shit out of the fucking guy trying to do a lecture. Ball, we're fitter players. Couldn't be fucked with us. Just like, you actually look back and think, what a fucking bunch of arseholes we were.
Oh, I'd hated myself when I was young.
Coaching yourself, you'd hate you,
right? Do you remember wee Archie? Remember wee
Chef,
remember there were a couple of boys used to cook in the kitchen for a college course, remember that?
That was we done the college, we cooked, me and Dino.
I think we must have just missed it when you had to actually go to college or you had to actually go in the kitchen and do stuff. But I remember you used to do it, but wee Archie just came into my mead, he'd there, wee Archie worked in there, remember? He used to spit in the image of Robbie Keane used to hate getting called wee Archie. Right, so Archie was a character. He was always up to stuff. He was like, "I seen my new bird and all that, right?" And he'd show you, and he'd googled it, and it was like a bird for the FHM magazine. He'd be like, "Archie, no." Right? So he hadn't been in a few weeks. This is when I'm back to Celtic. He hadn't been in a few weeks, and we were up at Celtic Park. And I says to Mo, the chef, says, "Where's wee Archie?" She went, "Have you not heard?" And she's laughing. I went, "No. What is it?" Obviously, he's a bit daft and that about the kitchen showing you birds. It's no his, no that, right? But great guy, but bit daft. And I says, "No, I've not heard." She went, "Oh, you'll not believe this." He says, "You know the cling film in the wall? You're pulling the cling film?" He says, "He's pulling the cling film, I couldn't get it. His horn slipped and he poked his two thumbs into his two eyes." He said, his two thumbs into his eyeballs. So I fought for his 6 months. Remember him? Two thumbs. Swear down.
That's incredible.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Oh, that's so good, isn't it? Well, that's right, man. Remember Willie Queen? He brought his boy into Battery one day.
Who jabbed him? Jamie the groundsman jabbed him. Leaned in the minibus, jabbed him one day.
Oh, mate, they were unreal time. Right, come on, when you get us finished, what one? Hibs.
Kelly Hibs. I mean, if you're
Spot on it, Paul.
the team, but with Big Rocky getting that corner away, diving down. Did you see that?
Seen it, mate.
2-1, and then he goes out. Oh, come on, big man, don't.
Looked like some game, to be fair.
Aye, good for Kelly to get back.
Great game, mate.
Did look like a good game.
Again, Derek McInnes' team looked dead and buried, but
Aye.
so much character in it.
Great goals of the captain for sale to get them back into it. And then obviously the header for the corner, good finish.
I think
Like
exciting times for Hibs, I think.
I think so as well, mate.
Aye, and a lot of the youth, as I said, he's known for.
Have you heard good things about him?
Aye, speaking to Cummins as well, he said he's brilliant.
Right.
What's
You know, he won the A-League, mate, with the, what is it, the smallest budget?
Smallest budget, and the youngest ever team to win the A-League.
I seen that thing, it was like, because he started in the youth there, didn't he? And
Yeah.
like, under his management,
Yeah,
it was
that's
like eight boys came through the
Aye.
academy or something like that.
Said he's massive when bringing.
You had them playing rock, paper, scissors before every game,
was
didn't you? That was the
started it,
secret.
aye.
I'd be surprised there.
So it's really exciting for Hibs going forward.
4-4-2, didn't I see a lot of these days people being successful playing it, but that's obviously tried and tested.
Everyone plays out of possession though.
Out of possession on the press,
Everyone's 4-4-2 out of possession.
Possession only, boy, you think playing out now, maybe no.
But
I think one of the strikers maybe drop in, maybe, I don't know.
But I think if you look at the first 5 minutes of the game, with Boyle getting the ball and being direct and getting an opportunity, you can tell, well, that's what he wants. He's using.
Robbie Dees must have fought
that
first. No, what, did you see it?
No, I've not seen it.
So it's one of the ones where Kelly's kick off and you pass it back to centre half, everyone runs, he's sclaffed it right into Martin Boyle's toe. Martin Boyle's was trying it back forward, one of them with the goalie. He must have thought, oh my God.
You're saying that, see, we're talking about corners. I used to be the first person that received the ball for kick-off. Even that, you used to be like, fucking 10-yard pass, man.
Surely you're alright with
Under the
that.
canny, mate, honestly, see, like, I would always come back to me and then I'd play somebody to do something. Even him, mate, you'd be like, that fucking can't have fucked this up. Take that pass, mate.
Aye. See, Aberdeen.
Mad, innit?
Aye, I used to get that as well with the ball
one.
back to you as a centre half, you roll out your studs, and it was how you were going to take it back, and especially if you had two strikers sprinting at you.
Aye.
See if you took your eye off the ball, you look at him, you were like, I need to get this right.
That block can make sure you block him for kick off.
Because see, I think it was usually a centre back I was playing, and he'd be like, you playing this for me first time or for me to take that?
Mate, what do you want? That's always a discussion, must be in every single game. First time I say, played 46 games this season, they're still discussing.
Oh, mate.
You need to get that first one right, the amount I've kicked right out the park to start big curly toes, aye.
See if you did though, do that. So say you're like, hit it in the corner so we can challenge for it. See if you've hit it straight out the pitch, you think, fucking
Shy start, but we'll just play it. We'll just play it.
Because I'm thinking about that, that's mad you saying that, because when I see Nobby D's done that, I went, I wonder if he goes and has a beast now for the rest of the game.
Aye.
Then he gets a chance at the last minute, doesn't he?
Aye.
He fucking blooms it over the bar.
It can be quite important as well, because see if you get up there and that striker's flicks it and you get a throw in their side, all of a sudden you're out, everybody's going. It's a bit, but there's the opposite, if they get a throw in up the line or you sclaff it and they get a good header centre half, he's all of a sudden won the first header against your striker. You're like, oh no, I've got us right in the back foot here.
I'm sure Aberdeen were passing if we kick off straight back to the goalie.
To the goal.
Aye, they did, aye. Kelly Roos, aye.
Right back, one pass straight back.
See, what I would say is, you know better doing it to the goalie than a centre half.
I think so, because then everyone gets squeezed up into that half of the pitch.
And if you then play it to the goalie, then your full centre half can all just squeeze up. So the second boys, you're all just netting up.
See if you're a good pressing team, is there an argument to put it out for a goal kick for the other team?
Aye, but surely a goalie's getting it, no?
Smash it's hard you can out for a goal kick.
90 yards.
Absolutely leather out for a goal kick.
McAllister, for every kick off at Peterhead, used to shoot.
Did he?
Shoot.
What, early bar?
Mate, honestly, how many times he was so close to scoring was incredible, man. You get corners and that, mate, goalie tipping the ball at the bar.
It's a great start in a corner.
A corner straight away, you're buzzing in you. Where can you see them finishing this year?
Who?
Too early to say. Hibs.
Too early. Obviously, the early sides are good because if we're going to praise anybody, he praised the start that Kilmarnock's had to the season. So to be good in there and be 2-0 up away from home.
Not a lot of people do that.
Not a lot of people do that, but credit to Kilmarnock getting back into it and getting a draw at it. But like he said, he's disappointed because to be 2-0 up away from home, you should be shutting up shop and make sure you see the 3 points out. But the early signs would be good, but Hibs are very much up and down. So he said in the interview, they've got 3 home games coming up before they play Hearts. So I think next 3-4 weeks will be the big test. If they can pick up maybe say 7 points out of 3 home games and then play yous, where do they play yous, Andy, at Tynecastle?
Tynecastle, aye. We're 3 out next 3 year away.
Aye, so there you go. So that could be huge.
See that 4-4-2 shout just came back. I was going to say it, but we got onto something else here. Basically, if a striker just comes off, it's just a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-4-1-1 as well, isn't it? So a lot's made it like a 4-4-2 in that, but it's...
I think it's now when the ball goes wide, the 2 strikers just going
in the box.
In the box,
Who was the 2?
Verdi.
Who is it?
But we actually see, again, going to be a bit off course, but I know we all love our coach. And see, last year at the 20s, we changed from 4-3-3 to 4-4-2 to possession press because we underestimated how good goalies were at that level with their feet. So see, we were pressing with the 4-3-3 and it was like, say, we've squeezed them down that side when it goes back to the goal. We get him to jump, just clip at the fullback every time. So we end up just going 4-4-2, but it's their sort of back 4 was covered, so it kind of forced them long up to try and play. Aye. No, fuck's sake. Never do pivot press, mate, ever.
Favourite match ever?
Favourite match ever? That's going to be the Barcelona game. We're on 25th anniversary and then winning, wasn't it? That was good.
So imagine that.
What was that? Is that a 21 game? No, it wasn't it? It was, wasn't it?
Aye, he scored the second. Aye.
Were you on the pitch, Charlie, when Tony scored now?
I was, aye.
Were you, mate?
Aye,
What do you think when do you think fancy him?
I did fancy him, Mike. He was bang. Every time he came on, he scored for us.
What happened
See, when he
again?
came on as a young boy, you were like, he'll score. He was like that. He was on that run. He was that fearless the way he played. And I'm not sure it was just before that he'd come on against Motherwell, or it might have been after that. But around about that time he was coming on, I thought, when he went through, I thought, I fancy him here.
How did he get through again? Was there no last?
It was a kick, innit?
Did somebody
Foster,
did they miss something?
Xavi missed it
Was
and
it
it went
Xavi?
through.
Yep.
But it was about 85 minutes or something. And Lenny
was.
turned around to the bench and says, I take a draw now, 2-0, 85 minutes.
But they scored too, didn't they?
They scored. Aye, they scored.
Take a draw.
Take a draw now, 2-0. He was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was in Swindon when Tony scored that goal, man. I remember sitting thinking,
Wish it was me.
it's incredible, man. You're actually a wee bit in fucking disbelief.
It's one of the goals, especially for the young boy, where that's forever. That's remembered.
Isn't it?
Forever.
Aye.
He probably gets it all the time. Like somebody stopped him saying, "What about that goal against Barcelona?"
Oh no.
And did you sprint straight out, huh?
I must, aye. I regretted that then when I was cramping up with 92 minutes.
Were you playing the old graveyard left winger role that night? No.
Left winger the whole night, and then
Oh my
I
God.
went to centre half for the last 10 minutes or something.
Does that mean he went 8 at the back?
That's where we were 8 at the back the whole night.
Talk me through your
Alves?
performance on the ball at left wing that night, please.
Oh,
How many
man.
times do you think you touched it?
I'd like to
roughly?
look back and see it. Genuinely, like, I
Who
never
were you
had
up
the ball.
Alves.
Alves, but honest to God, we're talking about this before tactics, right? But I remember receiving the ball, right? And not having a second to. I was like, they've got too many players. Stop the game. Well, count their players. Honestly, man, that's what it felt like. And it was like, you couldn't work out why. But genuinely, they must have been so high up the park. You're doubling up, the ball falls at you, you go, yes. Oh, they obviously counter pressing quick with that run about that time where they did 5
5 second
seconds
time, I
or
remember.
whatever.
Was that Pep?
It
Pep
was just after Pep, it was the boy.
Villanova. Is that right?
Tito.
Tito.
Aye, him. It was him.
Remember Fabregas and Messi were fighting each other after the game? Choking each other out.
Nah. They were having a wee argument, weren't they, when I went in the change room after it. Because I'd get an Estes tap and I went in after it. Opened the door, you're buzzing, you've just won, so you're like, into Barca's changing room, get the tap. So I went in, opened the door, and they were all scrapping. They were all like, trying to get at each other and all that. Messi was up on the bench, they were all like, trying to get. Just like, no way, just shut the door, because you know that. You know it means something to them, but you're half thinking, they know they'll win the next game, they'll be fine, but no.
That's
Because I said to
amazing.
Xavi, we get drug tested, and I'm sitting drug testing, like, having a beer because I'm obviously trying to go to the toilet and that. I says to him, you out tonight? And he's like,
Yeah, right.
He's like, no. He says, maybe if we win, if we get beat, it's a catastrophe, he says.
Wow.
Always
See what
about it.
Messi done when Mott scored? On the pitch.
He done 6k that night, Messi. Can you remember?
No
6K?
way.
He doesn't move, didn't he?
He
no?
done
That's
6.
impossible.
How do you know that?
Because we had the cameras in the stadium back then. Obviously, there was no GPS.
Aye.
We got the next day the list. So I don't know how accurate that was compared to what it is now. But I done 14.5k, right? Messi done 6. I'll never forget it. My whole night, I'm not joking. Like, I was going
No.
narrow, out, knowing when they take MD Youngs, then they just go like that, and then they play it back, you just narrow, sort of inside, back. You spent the whole night doing that, the whole night. You get a goal kick, and it was like, yes, up to the halfway line, on it you go,
mate.
get a goal kick, try and
Hit
flick
you.
it on home, it hits somebody for a throw in.
Did you beat Danny Alves in the air? Because he is, even though he's a small guy, he's
A couple
incredible.
of times,
in the air.
but I remember feeling like his studs were on my back before I even got up. I was like, like it was like a rash, it was mad. I'd like to see
Is that the tiredest you've ever been in a game?
Must have been. Oh, must have been. Aye, we were
14.5k is
14
incredible,
and a half.
now.
It was
That's a lot.
absolutely-
Nearly as incredible as 6k.
6, man.
He never runs, though, didn't he? No.
He's earned the right though.
But you think about they had 89% possession. So you think he was probably just standing in a good area,
Aye.
waiting. They were all just probably standing in a good area for ages, taking a touch.
You said
and passing.
89.
They had 89% possession.
No, they never.
89%.
We had 11% possession that night.
Is that a record?
Must be. Get the stats up.
That's kick-off.
89% possession.
Kick off it
kick off
back
and
to
go
him, didn't he?
kicks.
Curly toed it out.
Too busy trying to play rock, paper, scissors. No, honestly, man.
89%, wow.
89%.
That's incredible. Who's left back with you? Is it Gary?
No, Matthews.
Oh, is it?
His again must have been injured. Aye, mad.
That's super.
What a night. Last wee bit, what you want to speak about, Paul?
Yeah, go on,
You
man.
used to call him the mouse, didn't you? He's not the mouse now, mate.
Spoke well.
Think?
I thought the week.
What do you think his point?
But
Oh, he's right.
surely, but he was taking like, it was too long watching the game. He was taking too long, but he's saying we were trying to work out Spurs how they were going to press us, wasn't it? I think that's what it was. But I think he was still taking too long. But I think the referee was saying to him,
Aye.
I can't remember exactly how
He
it
was
went.
pissed off of the way that how one got a yellow card and how one didn't get, one got the same yellow card, but how are the two offences the same?
And he was
But
rushing.
Spurs press every single time.
Time,
You know that if they're one, but
He said they were changing it. Whatever
don't
they
know,
meant
do
with
they?
that.
What?
press if it's on, Big Andrew shit, wouldn't he?
What about him down there? But they love him, don't they?
He's flying, isn't he?
I don't know why would that force you to go long though? I don't agree with that part of it, no.
Nah.
Maybe a
See,
clip in
I
the
think
strikers.
the-
He was raging as well, didn't he?
The mouse is on a sugly, isn't he, Paul?
No, Jank.
Aye, he's on that, aye, definitely.
What, you think you could get sacked?
He could do, aye. No,
Been quite competitive every Luton are 0 points mate, in the season.
Luton
Aye.
could
And
break.
zero.
They should
Who
stop
is it
it now,
that's got
shouldn't
the
they?
record? Is
They
it
should just
Sunderland?
stop playing.
Derby, I think, is it?
Derby,
Derby at
12 points,
12
aye.
points or something.
12,
like
aye.
that.
Could Luton get
No,
less than
Luton's
that?
less than that. I'm
Oh, I'm going
agreeing, I'm
less as
saying
well,
less.
mate.
I think so,
I think
aye.
they'll score 12 goals, Luton.
They might know, honestly.
Even Burnley.
Are they absolutely brutal?
Terrible.
They actually, to be honest, did you
I
watch
don't think they
highlights?
want to stay up.
They had a few chances against Fulham.
Did they?
Aye.
They
Hit the
should
post at
stop.
0-0 and they but that's a couple of chances, but
Burnley's
By
the
their
same.
signings,
honestly-
I think they want their arse.
mate,
They must just want to
No,
get
I
the
agree
money.
with you, mate. They've signed for the championship next year.
Next year,
100%.
Did you play with Rob at Wolves?
Aye, I did, aye.
Did you ever see him being that guy that he is now?
No,
No, neither did I.
no.
How what was he like?
He just wasn't. He didn't come across like your stereotypical footballer.
You would have thought he'd have just left Football and
I
not
went to
seen
uni.
again.
I thought he'd have left football, went to uni or something.
Done well, to be fair,
Done a
hasn't he?
fucking like a nutrition course or something, and fucking
Aye.
started selling Herbalife or something. I don't know. I
Yeah,
just
it's
swear to God,
languishly,
never ever thought he would end up going like the tactical route of being a manager. And
Aye.
but fair play. I mean, really nice guy.
Great guy, man.
He was a really nice
Head
guy.
of
looking guy,
25
man.
for money for Herbalife.
Aye, 25. I'm in for Herbalife. Change your life.
But they play two up, didn't they? It's like Wimbledon, mate.
Aye.
Because thing is, they're into the big hard Mick
Harford.
I think he's doing the tactics, mate.
Guy used to coach us at Sunderland, and he said that Mick Harford was the hardest football player he'd
Heard that.
ever come across in his
Talking
life.
about that, though.
Said he was fucking no, but he was hard as fuck, proper
Oh, I
hard.
heard that. I did
What do you
hear that.
think about this long injury time thing?
I think it's only right.
Aye.
I like
I
it.
think it's right
Teams
because
ought to take time wasting it.
Hate
Fuck
it if
them.
you're a player. Brilliant to watch.
1-0
But you're
up,
holding
so
on to a
15
1-0,
minutes to
you
go.
go up, it's 11 minutes, you're like,
That's
fucking
not
hell.
it. Can't hold a ball in a corner that long, can you?
a wee cramp, and then you fucking see that board go up to 14. You're thinking, fucking hell, how am I getting through that?
What time's games? Like 5:15?
But by the
or
way,
something, isn't it?
I remember, who was it? Was it Alan Pardew or Davy Moyes? It was one of them, like 2 or 3 years ago, says that football should have, every time the ball goes out of play, the clock stops. And everyone was like, stop talking shite. That probably makes more sense to what they're doing now, no? If
but
they
it would
want to
stop
stop
like
Is that
every
not what
time.
they're doing? Is that not how they're getting the injury time? Is the clock not stopping
Aye,
now?
but mate, I'm not being funny, but how can you add on like, I've seen like 12 minutes in that this year.
Nah,
That's
it's a sham,
madness.
but I don't like that.
But it comes from was it the World Cup we just had? They added on like 8
that's
minutes.
right.
Bournemouth and Chelsea was 8
18 more
minutes.
goals there's been this year.
Bournemouth and Chelsea was 8 minutes and neither team was wasting time in the game.
No, 15 more goals. There's 18 injury time goals this season in the Premier League. There was only 3 this time last season.
Spurs were double figures and all, weren't they? They ended up winning the game.
Aye.
Yep.
That's right. 114.
That's the same, mate.
Aye.
98th minute,
That's
90th.
right, aye.
How long? 1 minute.
Should have come to Scotland.
Are we adding on that amount of time?
No, I don't think so. I think there's been that amount.
There's been more though. No to the extent that we've seen in England, but there's definitely been more. Just like 4 minutes just at half time, first half. I've never seen that.
It's just
I think it was because of 1 VAR. Like, look.
Scary.
Only in Scotland.
scariest team talk.
Team top before.
At half time and after a game, scariest man.
Oh, I can't.
many.
Neil Lennon had loads.
Then with Hibs man.
No, the odd. I can't remember individual ones. Was it bad?
That was the one
You knew you were getting
Jackson
it.
Irving played.
Oh, it was
God,
it was,
still scared for him now.
aye, that was.
And he had a shocker.
Are you still scared for him now?
No. Don't know why I said it.
That was
The
good though,
final
enjoyed that.
tactics taken out, yeah.
Aye.
Drained.
That was a great effort.
Drained.
That was
man.
great. Mate, do you know
enjoyed
what?
that.
Do you know what I was most impressed that we delivered it?
You're my
Aye.
match.
No, I'll tell you,
Well,
it was
this,
a great
I think
performance.
since last year, his
Analysis.
experience under Broomhill, and then now, I think
know?
there's a different. I'll be honest with you. Don't look up your arse because that's what I'd never do. But I'm impressed.
And then he
Imagine
shoot
like
you
that
with a
president.
start. He shook
And
you
a
with a
bounce
start
back.
and you still bounced
There
on.
was no dildo armour, there was no mumbling, it was just
Was a bit of
confident
dildo.
deliver. Was there a wee
Aye,
bit
it
of
was
dildo?
that was shaking, aye. The only thing do you know what? See, I'm thinking they might play 4-3-3 though.
Oh no, don't.
I'm going to put my kids
I'm
up.
telling you.
Don't ruin it, mate.
No, they might.
It was very good.
They might play.
I hope that's all wrong.